our invited guests that are here today, I want to say good morning to you. We give God all glory, the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, for choosing a day like this for us. And all of us are seated here witnessing that very wonderful day. And like I said, we all are making history today, and we know why we all are gathering here today. I want to say a very big thank you to all the pressmen that are here, and also to inform you that the Eagle 7 Sport Radio 103.7 FM is right here. Everything we are doing today is live on all social media and also in all our radio stations in Nigeria. I want to say a very big thank you to the MD CEO of Bass Media, who happens to be our ambassador and the coordinator of this very wonderful occasion. I'm talking of Otuba, Dr. Ambassador, the great Matician. I'm talking of Otuba Owu Babawa Shegun Odegbami MON. Thank you so very much for this assistance you are giving us today. I appreciate them for coming around. And also I want to assure you that we still are expecting our guests to join us today. Before I start inviting our very important personalities to the high table, I need to recognize these very wonderful people who happens to be the members of AFENEFERE RENEWAL Group of Nigeria. Thank you so very much. I have couples of them here. First and foremost, I want to say a very big thank you and welcome to Colonel Eni Bokon, the Eni Bokon who came with our daddy, General Alani, the entourage. They are here. Please, if you are here, please, let's see you. Let's see you. Thank you very much. Thank you so much for being with our daddy. You are doing a great job. Thank you. Then the Lisa of Ikene is right here. So for somebody to be Lisa of a very big town and historic town to be here, man, we need to appreciate it. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please appreciate Lisa of Ikene, Chief Akiola Shoname, who happens to be the brother of our renowned Mogul, a business Mogul, Chief Shoname. Thank you so very much, sir. Thank you. And I have the national chairman of ARG. Even though I'm still going to invite him to the right table, to the right here. Please distinguish.
Good afternoon, good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, Ogun State. Good morning, Lagos. Good morning to you, my beautiful and superb listener. Today, we turn our attention to June 12 Cultural Center, where a critical and timely conversation is set to unfold. One that speaks directly to the safety, stability, and the future of the Southwest. The theme of today's program is Before the Storm Arrives, the Politics of Security and the Security of Politics in the Yoruba land. Across communities in Southwest Nigeria, concerns are rising. Reports of insecurity, of threats lurking within forests, villages, and even as alleged sleeping cells have created a growing sense of urgency. The message is clear. The message is clear. The threat is no longer distant. It is real, it is present, and it demands attention. Today's gathering is not just another discussion. It is a call to awareness and action. A call for communities to wake up, to understand the implications of inaction, and to confront the realities before the situation escalates further. Leading this important dialogue is respected elder statesman General Alani Akinri Ade, alongside other prominent socio-cultural Yoruba leaders. Together, they will present insights, perspectives, and evidence aimed at addressing the concerns around security in the region. The program is coordinated by Dr. Olusegun Odegbami, the Grand Sport Ambassador of Ogun State, and it is hosted by Honorable Wale Oshu, the chairman of ARG. It is proudly brought to you by AFENEFERE Renewal Group, Ogun State chapter. In a moment, right now we are live in Abeokuta for full coverage of this crucial conversation. Stay locked in. This is Victoria Ophila presenting for Eagle 7 Sport Radio 103.7 FM.
Please appreciate it for us. Right from Kogi State, I have Kabiyesi Aberu Ayo. Am I right? Aberu Ayo. Kabiyesi. Thank you very much from Kogi State. How is Kogi, sir? Thank you very much, sir. Good to see you here. Then from Kwara State, the ARG coordinator from Kwara State is my lovely daddy, Professor Kehinde Akanwo. Professor Kehinde Akanwo, can you still recognize me? 1947, we were in England together. That was 1947. Not see that. Thank you so very much. Okay, I also have the coordinator of ARG Ogun State. This is my own state. My uncle, my mentor, my boss, my leader, my chairman, our ambassador, mathematician, Oloye Owu Otuba Chief Segun Odegbami is our host in Ogun State. Thank you. You are the one hosting us. Thank you very much. You've done a very tremendous work for making this a possibility. Thank you, sir. Okay, from Ondo State, that is my state. From Ondo State, I have the coordinator, ARG from Ondo State. I'm talking of Pastor Ayodele Peters. Thank you, sir. Ekabo, sir. Eshe. Okay, our ARG National is also here, Engineer Dapo Abiola. Thank you very much, you're welcome, sir. And ARG National, I have my mother. She is a princess. Mushifila Furiade Yami, Iyadada Aboja Boro, a beautiful mother. Anytime, any day. Alabini Folashade. Olabanji Oba, ARG National. Thank you very much, mommy. Eshegonima. Sheshemati mi ma. Emini akobi tebisi Ghana. Thank you so very much, mommy. Okay, last but not the least, as I have it on the list here is also Professor Folorunsho Bello, ARG National. Professor Folorunsho Bello. And our very, very special guests, General Alani Akinriade, Ilumoka Babawa, Jagun Akoni Feiti, Baba Ninore, Àwòkọ́ṣe rere, àwọn olórí wa nílẹ̀ Yorùbá, ẹ dákun torí Ọlọ́run bá ń pa àtẹ́wọ́ fún wọn dáadáa. Bàbá tó láàmìlàaka, ẹ ṣé, a dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín, à ń rí yín, inú wa dùn. Amari lójoojúmọ́ ní agbára Olódùmarè ọba mi ọba ìyanu. Thank you dáàdi mi, ẹ ṣé, àdúpẹ́. Ẹ̀rọ kan bá mi pé àbí dáàdi òrìrì wa ni dáàdi ọba gbọdọ̀ máa wà kẹ́. Ìgbà tí mo gbọ́ pé wọ́n ti dé, bóyá níyàwó mi kó lọ dọ̀bẹ̀nu, dára ìsìnú, dáàdi ti wà mí. Thank you daddy for coming. Okay, yes. Excuse me, sir. All right. Yeah, I have a retired military officer here that I want to please beg to help me appreciate him very, very well. This man has made history in Nigeria, a major contributor to the history of Nigeria. Please, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, appreciate Colonel Tony Ian. gbàgbé nínú ìtàn ilẹ̀ wa pàápàá jọ ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Thank you very much for that very wonderful job you have done for us. Thank you. Okay, my brother just came here. I have my Egbon. Hey, I don't mind Egbon for me. This Egbon has been my brother. We are featured in so many television and radio programs, and in Ogun State here, when I was the media consultant for Ogun State Internal Revenue Service, he was one of the top officers there. Please, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, help me appreciate Sector Commander, FRC, Ogun State, Corps Commander, Akinwumi Fashakin. Thank you very, very much, sir. Thank you always. Okay. I have a Brigadier General P.O. Oluleye here in the house. That is ARG National. Please. Brigadier General P.O. Oluleye. Thank you very much, sir. Yes. Bàbá mi tí wọ́n represent olówó of Owo Kingdom, bàbá wa Àrùntọ́ Láṣílẹ̀, ẹ bá mi pa àti ọ̀fun wọn dáadáa. My God, I greet you very well. That's my mentor. We are always together, always go together, we travel together. He has written so many books. Thank you for everything you are doing for Nigeria. Okay, we are starting the occasion straight away. Yeah, before I do anything, I want you to please join me as the usher here, inviting the high table, the chairman, ARG Nigeria. I'm talking of Honorable Wale Oshun, both home and abroad. Please bring him to the high table. Honorable Wale Oshun. Emma Balokesa. Thank you very much, sir. Bàbá jẹ́jẹ́ oníwà pẹ̀lẹ́ ẹni tí Ọlọ́run ọba mi jìnkí ọgbọ́n ìmọ̀ àti òye fún bàbá wa Wálé Ọ̀ṣun. Ẹ ṣé gidi gan ni sà. Tí ọ̀rọ̀ bá ti wá látòkè tó ti wá láti ọ̀dọ̀ àwọn àgbà ó di dandan ká mú lò ká sì tẹ̀lé. Gẹ́gẹ́ bí wọ́n ṣe sọ fún mi nísìnyí, wọ́n pe àwọn bàbá wa tí wọ́n máa bá wa jíròrò tí Ọlọ́run ọba mi jìnkí ọgbọ́n ìmọ̀ àti òye fún, torí tá a bá nírú wọn kí là á máa sọ níbi ìjíròrò pàtàkì báyìí. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to start inviting our panelists to the high table. First and foremost, please put your hands together. Okay, sir. All right. All right. I'm going to invite my daddy, Ogbeni Bumi Awotiku. Ebane, the one come about. We're from ARG anthem, sir. For the ARG anthem. Baba wa Ogbeni Bumi Awotiku. Thank you very much, sir.
Mo kí wa pé a kú ìyálẹ̀ta yìí. Ẹ jẹ́ á dìde fún orin Afẹ́nifẹ́re Renewal Group. La 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 la. Iṣẹ́ wà fún ilẹ̀ wa. Iṣẹ́ wà fún ilẹ̀ wa. Fún ilẹ̀ bí wá.
Ni ẹ jẹ́ ká máa lé
Afẹ́nifẹ́re, 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 Afẹ́nifẹ́re. Ọmọ Yorùbá o, ìran tiwa làṣà, tiwa níṣe. Ọmọ Yorùbá o.
Nígbà tó pe Afẹ́nifẹ́re àdáhùn dáadáa. Afẹ́nifẹ́re, 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 tiwa làṣà, tiwa níṣe. Ẹ dákẹ́ bá mi pa àtẹ fún bàbá wa Bùnmi Àwòtìkù. Thank you very, very much. Okay, màá pe bàbá wa gẹ́gẹ́ bí wọ́n ṣe fún mi ní àṣẹ láti máa bọ̀ wá sí orí àga ọlọ́lá ń bí. Ẹ dákun ẹ bá mi pa àtẹ fún wọn máa ṣe ń bọ̀ wá síbí báyìí. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Honorable Wale Oshun. Yes, wọ́n máa bá wa sọ̀rọ̀ wọ́n ṣe ń bọ̀ yẹn náà ni wọ́n máa bá wa sọ̀rọ̀. Ẹ ṣé gbọ́n ní sá. Thank you very much, sir.
Ẹ káàárọ̀ o. Mo kí bàbá wa, ẹ̀gbọ́n wa, General Alani Akinrinade, pẹ̀lú orúkọ wọn. Mo kí gbogbo àwa tá wà níbí. Mo kí kábíyèsí tí wọ́n ti join wa níbí. And mo fẹ́ dúró lórí protocol tí MC tó ti establish. Ṣùgbọ́n mo láti bẹ̀rẹ̀ bí méjì yẹn. Kábíyèsí kádé pẹ̀lú orí kí bàtà pẹ̀lẹ́sẹ̀. Mo sì tún kí general nítorí wípé nípa ọ̀rọ̀ ilẹ̀ Nàìjíríà, nípa ọ̀rọ̀ ilẹ̀ Yorùbá, àwọn olórí wa nìyẹn, kò sí olórí míì nísìn. A fẹ́ dúpẹ́ púpọ̀ lọ́wọ́ yín. Ìgbà tí a ń kọrin ARG anthem lẹ́ẹ̀kan, ó ti sọ gbogbo nǹkan tí ARG dúró fún. Ó sọ̀rọ̀ nípa iṣẹ́ tó wà wájú wa. Iṣẹ́ wà fúnlẹ̀ wá. Iṣẹ́ yẹn ò tí tán bí ẹni pàtẹ́ tí ìbẹ̀rẹ̀ ni. Ó sọ̀rọ̀ nípa àṣepọ̀ unity. Ó sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ìfọ̀kànbalẹ̀ peace and unity. Tẹ́bádẹ́ gbọ́ dáadáa, ó sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ìdàgbàsókè, development of the ordinary Yoruba person. Ìdàgbàsókè, development of the ordinary Yoruba person. The well-being of the ordinary Yoruba person. And ìtàn tá gbọ́ ni pé ní 1951 ní meeting ní Ọ̀wọ̀ ni wọ́n ti pinnu wípé the political party of that time, Action Group, nígbà tó ń wò wípé báwo ni wọ́n ṣe fẹ́ máa bá àwọn èèyàn wa sọ̀rọ̀ tó máa lè tètè yé wọn ní Yorùbá. Òun ni wọ́n sọ nípa wípé a ṣe sọ pé Afẹ́nifẹ́re. Mo fẹ́ra mi, mo fẹ́ rẹ̀ náà. And when you wish the other person good and wish him well, you are asking for the development and well-being of all others, which is what we stand for as Ọmọlúàbí ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. That is what we stand for. We speak about growth, we speak about development. We've had, unfortunately, unfortunately retarded growth. Torí tó bá jẹ́ pé ní 1959 Papa Awólọ́wọ̀ tó bá jẹ́ pé ṣe ni wọ́n dúró sí Western region bí Amadu ṣe dúró sí Northern region tí wọ́n sọ pé wọ́n fẹ́ ṣe national politics. Ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ti kọjá Korea báyìí. Wọ́n ti kọjá Korea nítorí pé development tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti 1951 tó ti form government títí wọ late 50s, the first television station in sub-Saharan Africa, the first high-rise building, the first government with a free education policy that is properly implemented, the first government with free health, the first government talking about rural transformation. I mean, that is what good governance is all about. What AFENEFERE RENEWAL group tó dúró fún nìyẹn. A ní láti máa sọ story tó pọ̀. Ìgbàgbọ́ wa ni pé ọjọ́ kan gbogbo ilẹ̀ Yorùbá á sowọ́pọ̀. Kò ní Yorùbá ní a lè sùn ká kọrí síbì kan náà, gbogbo wa ò lè sùn. Ṣùgbọ́n pẹ̀lú differences tó máa wà yẹn, unity of purpose yìí láti wà. So mo fẹ́ dánu dúró ń bẹ̀ yẹn nípa ta ni AFENEFERE RENEWAL group. Who and what are we? I have described who we are. Na nǹkan tá a fẹ́ ṣe ń bí báyìí ni ó ní ṣe pẹ̀lú ẹ bá wo title yẹn, security of politics and politics of security. Generally, our professionals in security, and luckily I need quite a number bí. Àwọn tó ti lay down lives wọn, tó ti jagun, tó ti ṣe àwọn àní wọn bí. But tó bá sọ̀rọ̀ security kì í ṣe nǹkan tó ń sọ níta gbangba. Ṣùgbọ́n ní Nàìjíríà tí a wà lénìí, Yorùbá bàbá Adésọ̀yà wọ́n máa ń sọ̀rọ̀ kan wá ní téèyàn bá bóyá wọ́n ṣe sọ pé téèyàn bá sọ̀rọ̀ síta akẹtọ̀ sáré àbí báwo mi ó ní bọ́n ṣe sọ ṣáńgbà yẹn bẹ́ẹ̀ tó bá kẹ́hùn sọ̀rọ̀ akẹtọ̀ sáré. Ọ̀rọ̀ security yìí àwọn professionals á fẹ́ pé ká fọwọ́ bò mọ́lẹ̀ ká má sọ síta ká má ṣe, but ó ti tásìkò tá gbọ́dọ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní pariwo ẹ̀ síta. Arákùnrin kan Ọ̀jájú ni wọ́n kidnap ẹ̀ sometimes last year. Kò kàn sásìkò ní àbá ní àbá ṣe fídíò ẹ̀ ká máa nígbà tó kidnap ẹ̀ ó sọ ó ní lára wọ́n ṣe fọ́nu nínú camp tó kidnap òun lọ. Òun ní pé àwọn ní 53 cells nílẹ̀ Yorùbá pé kò dẹ̀ tí tásìkò tó bá tásìkò àwọn máa dìde ní gbogbo Yorùbá enclave ni. Ìgbà tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ yìí ìgbà yẹn àwọn bandits wọ́n focus lórí Kwara ló sọ pé Kwara pẹ̀lú ibi tí wọ́n sọ fún un ó kì í ṣe kó sọ ní kọ̀kọ̀ ó sọ sí gbangba ni pé Kwara pẹ̀lú wọ́n dẹ̀ sọ pé in addition there are 53 different cells in Yorùbá land táwọn ti wà. Tá a bá sọ pé security ni ẹja fọwọ́ bò sọ ẹ má jà sọ síta tí crisis ẹ̀ bá dé gbogbo èèyàn ló máa kàn. Àwọn èèyàn sì a pàdé níbí báyìí lánàá àwọn èèyàn dẹ̀ sọ àwọn fẹ́ lọ sí Ìlọrin ṣùgbọ́n tágo mẹ́ta bá ti lù àwọn ò lè bọ́ sọ́nà mọ́. But ìlú yìí kan náà rí tó jẹ́ pé in those days à ń lọ sábùjá aago 6 nírọ̀lẹ́ la ṣe máa gbé mọ́tò tá a máa bọ́ sọ́nà tá a máa lọ. À ń lọ sí Ìbàdàn, ó lè jẹ́ aago 9 tá a bá parí nǹkan tá a ṣe lẹ́kọ̀ọ́, la máa gbé mọ́tò tá a máa bọ́ sọ́nà tá a máa lọ. Tó bá wá dé stage tó jẹ́ pé ẹni fẹ́ lọ sí Ìbàdàn ó ti ń wo aago látago 2 pé ó jẹ́ tètè bọ́ sọ́nà kó ti dé Ìbàdàn lójúmọmọ. All over the world, development is typified by a 24-hour cycle, not a daylight cycle. Not a daylight cycle. Àwọn ọmọ tó wà ní school níta, wọ́n yìí sùn láago 9 lálẹ́. Tó bá dáago 10 wá sáré wẹ̀, wọ́n ṣe máa lọ mú train tó ń lọ sí bíi 200 kilometers away. Gbà tó bá fẹ́ padà sí school, ọkọ̀ wọn balẹ̀ pọ̀ máa débẹ̀. Òbí ẹ̀rù oníbà. Àwa wà bí sìn, we limited ourselves to not even a 12-hour cycle, about 8-hour cycle. Ilẹ̀ ti mọ́ láago 8, ó ti ṣú láago 6 ìrọ̀lẹ́. A lè ṣe nǹkan kan mọ́ lẹ́yìn náà nítorí security. So our lives are bound, woven around the issue of security. So kí ni data lè sọ ta gbangba? A gbọ́dọ̀ lè sọ that we have this problem, we've got to confront it. And the best way to confront it is the decentralization we've been talking about, the issue of restructuring the country in a way that at the lowest level, people can take decisions about issues that affect their lives. Mo fẹ́ ṣe illustration kan. Wọ́n ti ń ṣe títì Ìjẹ̀bú Òde wá sí Ṣàgámù. It's only 42 kilometers. Ọ̀nà yẹn bàjẹ́, but a dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ federal government. Wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní bá wa ṣe in a concrete form. Gbogbo ìgbà tí n bá kọjá ń bẹ̀, mo ń gbàdúrà fún Bọ́lá Tinubu ni. Wípé ọ̀nà tó ń ṣe yìí, a dúpẹ́ lọ́dọ̀ Ọlọ́run because ọ̀nà 25 years minimum ni. So mo ń gbàdúrà ni. But Bọ́lá Tinubu kọ́ ló máa kúrò l'Ábùjá tó máa wá make sure wípé báwọn ṣe ń ṣe yẹn ìnira ò bá àwọn ará ìlú. Because this is meant to be a federation, and in a federation, power is taken at the lowest level. We have police formations in Ayekwe, police formation in Odogbolu, police formation in Ṣàgámù, police formation in Ogere. In fact, the headquarters on that route of FRSC is at the base of the interchange bridge in Ṣàgámù. And yet, sir, the greatest disservice anybody lè ṣe fún Nigeria, òun ni pé sometimes it can take 4-5 hours to cover 40 kilometers from Ìjẹ̀bú Òde to the Ṣàgámù interchange. Mo ti wà nílẹ̀ ju ẹ̀ẹ̀mejì ẹ̀ẹ̀mẹ́ta lọ. So I'm speaking about what I know. But do we need the IG to call the commissioner of police to say you have a problem in that route? The impunity of Nigerians will always manifest, but law is meant to correct these impunities. So we have a situation in which gbogbo ọ̀nà yẹn á dí wọ́n á fèsì ara wọn, but ọlọ́pàá wà ní Ṣàgámù, ó wà láyé pé, ó wà lógèrè, ó wà ní káàkiri bẹ̀, but wọn ò jáde síta gbangba láti control traffic yẹn. So àwọn èèyàn á ṣe wákàtí 4 láti Ìjẹ̀bú Òde dé Ṣàgámù 40 kilometers, what should take about 40 minutes, and nobody is talking about it. But if you have a proper federation, what you see is that decentralization of power. I mean, for me, it is the greatest lesson about the need to properly restructure our country so So that when you speak of state police, it is proper state police, not one manipulated by Abuja. You speak of forest guards, it's proper forest guard. Tí àwọn ọmọ oní inú ilé ń bẹ̀ tí wọ́n rán, kì í ṣe pé forest guard ẹgbẹ́ Núpé ẹgbẹ́ wa kó wá ṣe ti Ìjẹ̀bú, ẹgbẹ́ tí Ìjẹ̀bú lọ sí ti Kàfàǹṣà kò lè work. We must decentralize. We must have our federation functioning as a federation. If we have that, the issue of security will be tackled at the lowest level. So, number five say forest guard. Come make sure pé state kankan, àdúgbò kankan ló ṣe forest guard. In fact, kí forest guard Rẹ́mọ gan, kó má lọ sí ti Ẹ̀gbádò, because Ẹ̀gbádò ló mọ territory ẹ̀, Rẹ́mọ mọ territory ẹ̀. Maybe I'm oversimplifying it, but this is security. We must talk about it in the public. Mi rò pé ọ̀rọ̀ abẹ́ ilé ni, ọ̀rọ̀ ìta ni. So mo fẹ́ dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín that I've taken your time, but I just thought I should let you know who we are in ARG, what we are doing, and the kind of restructuring that we want the country to go through, in a way that at the end of the day, you have one big country, it is there, but that country in Abuja will be funded by the federating units. Kò ń ṣe sìn tí Abuja máa lọ gba gbogbo owó káàkiri tó jẹ́ òun ló máa pín láwọn èèyàn lọ́wọ́. That's not fiscal federalism. It is not. And nǹkan tó gbogbo nǹkan tó ń pa security nìyẹn tí kò sẹ́ni lè takulẹ̀. Ẹ má bínú, ẹ ṣé púpọ̀.
Ẹ dákun ẹ bá mi pa àtẹ́wọ́ tó ilẹ̀ fún bàbá wa Honourable Wale Osho, the Chairman National Osun, Honourable Wale Osho, that is ARG National. Ẹ bá mi pa àtẹ́wọ́ fún wọn dáadáa. Ẹ ṣé gidi gan ni gbádùn wa, àdúpẹ́ púpọ̀ ní ọwọ́ yìí. Báyìí máa pe bàbá wa, bàbá dáadáa ajagun fẹ̀yìntì akọni ọkùnrin nílẹ̀ Yorùbá, bá mi General Alani Akínrìnàdé retired, pé kí wọ́n máa bọ̀ wá sí orí òkè níbí. Ẹ ṣé gidi gan ni bàbá wa. Tí wọ́n bá ti ń jókòó, á pe àwọn eléré kí wọ́n bá wa ṣeré díẹ̀ kó tó di pé bàbá bá wa sọ̀rọ̀ gẹ́gẹ́ bí the guest speaker of this occasion. Ẹ dákẹ́ máa bá mi fi àtẹ́wọ́ máa pa àtẹ́wọ́ fún ẹ máa bá pàtẹ́wọ́ fún. All right, stay down stroke, please. You can come for the mic, please. Ìṣẹ́jú kékeré la fún yẹn jọ.
bọ́lọ́jọ́ ò ṣe é gbé ṣeré. ọmọ ẹ̀kú omi bọ́lọ́jọ́ ò ṣe é gbé ṣeré. ẹ̀rù yára ẹ̀ bá dé. gbogbo afẹ́ni fẹ́rẹ̀ bá sí o. gbogbo afẹ́ni fẹ́rẹ̀ bá sí o. ó yá ìyá ẹyẹrìyẹ ìyá ẹyẹrìyẹ o ikú ò gbọ́dọ̀ payé o. nítorí bàbá mi jẹ́nẹ́rà Àlàní Akérèmàdé bàbá mi ó yá mo ní ògbọ́ra dìdì kó sálọ Akérèmà dìdì kó sálọ ikú sálọ lọ́dọ̀ rẹ o àwọn sálọ lọ́dọ̀ rẹ ó yá bàbá mi ọlọ́rọ̀bù wá lọ́ọ̀ṣọ́ ẹ máa gbọ́ mo ní kálẹ̀ kó dára òwúrọ̀ rẹ kó tòrò kó dára òwúrọ̀ ẹ kó tòrò bí omi àfọwúrọ̀ kan lónìí yẹ ní yẹyẹlé. kálẹ̀ rẹ kó dára òwúrọ̀ rẹ. wọ́n ní ọ̀ṣun. kó dára òwúrọ̀ rẹ kó tòrò bí omi àfọwúrọ̀ kan lónìí yẹ ní yẹyẹlé. ẹ wọ́n lọ́wọ́ kú o. a kò ní bẹ́ẹ̀ ní sùn fún ara wa. ṣẹ́gun ọ̀dọ́dà mi ò bá bá mi. Princess Ṣadé Ọlábàyí ọba kò ní méjì sunkún ara wa ọmọọba kò ní méjì sunkún ara Lisa Ìjọba jì ọlásọdọmẹ a kò ní pé kò ní pé gbogbo ẹgbẹ́ Afẹ́nifẹ́re ẹ máa gbọ́ yẹ́yẹ́ ọjọ́ ìyẹ́ ikú pọ̀ yẹ́yẹ́ ọjọ́ òníyẹ́ ṣé bàbá mi máa gbọ́ mo pé kó dìde jó ṣẹ́gun ọlọ́gbà mi kò ní jó fún wa náà ṣẹ́gun ọlọ́gbà mi kò ní jó fún wa náà ṣẹ́gun ọlọ́gbà mi kò ní jó fún wa náà ó yá ọmọ oníṣàbí kíra wọn ṣẹ́gun ọdẹ́gbàmí ọmọ oníṣàbí kíra wọn ọmọ oníṣàbí kíra wọn ó yá bàbá mi ṣẹ́gun ọdẹ́gbàmí máa gbọ́ ó pọ̀ bàbá mi ó pọ̀ ṣẹ́gun ọdẹ́gbàmí gbọ̀rọ̀ ara dé ó dé ṣẹ́gun ọdẹ́gbàmí bàbá mi. ó yá gbogbo Afẹ́nifẹ́re pátápátá ẹ̀gbọ́n mo ní kó pa mo dùn kábíyèsí mo tún mọ́ bá níwọ̀n ẹgbẹ̀je mo rìn jìnnà sọ́ba níwọ̀n ẹgbẹ̀fà àrọ́bà fílọ̀ bá ń pa mo gbọ́ òwú yá yẹ̀yẹ o òwú yá yẹ̀yẹ ọmọ òwú yá yẹ̀yẹ o ọmọ òwú yá yẹ̀yẹ o ó yá mo gbé òwú kọ́dà o ńlá kọ́dà o bí ẹni owó ẹ̀bìnrin wo o. Òwú la kọ́dà o kábíyèsí o òwú la kọ́dà o òwú la kọ́dà o bí ẹni owó ẹ̀bìnrin wo. Afẹ́nifẹ́re máa gbọ́ mo sọ wípé àrẹ̀múrẹ̀ máa tún wá o àrẹ̀múrẹ̀ máa tún wá tó bá dìgbà mìíràn máa tún wá o. Ule 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 àwàdáwà lójú o ule àwàdáwà lójú o ǹjẹ́ ule ibi ẹjọ́ ló mú jẹ ibi ẹjọ́ ló mú ta Èdùmàrè bàbá bá bẹ̀ jẹ́ fún wa o. Bàbá mi ò ní mọ̀ṣù ó yá ìyẹ̀tù ìyẹ̀ pápá yẹ ìyàtú ìyá pápá yẹ ayẹ yín kalẹ̀ o ayẹ yín kalẹ̀ o ayẹ yín kalẹ̀ o ayẹ yín kalẹ̀ o bóyá àpẹpẹ 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 onílà ọfà pẹpẹ tayò oní àpẹpẹ tayò onílà ọfà pẹpẹ tayò bóyá kóró kó wá bàyà kó kóró kó wá bàyà kó ó ṣòro tìǹyà o ó ṣòro tìǹyà o ó ṣòro tìǹyà ó ṣòro tìǹyà ó ṣòro tìǹyà o ó ṣòro tìǹyà ó ṣòro tìǹyà ó ṣòro tìǹyà júmi jóru wọn wo júmi jóru wọn wo mọ̀nsúra jóru wọn mọ̀nsúra jóru wọn èsì ọlọ́mọ bùkẹ́bùkẹ́ o èsì ọlọ́mọ bùkẹ́bùkẹ́ ó dára yeye ó dára púpọ̀ ó dára púpọ̀ ó dára yeye èsì ọlọ́mọ bùkẹ́bùkẹ́ èsì ọlọ́mọ bùkẹ́bùkẹ́ ó dára yeye ó dára púpọ̀ ó dára yeye ó dára púpọ̀ ó dára yeye ule o láyé ó tẹ̀ kó lórí máa yá ó tẹ̀ kó lórí máa yá.
That's a very nice one from our dance troupe, Ogun State here. That's a very nice one. Thank you very much. When my daddy was talking, the chairman, Honorable Wale Oshun, was talking the other time, we have a couple of guests that came in and permits me to quickly recognize them before we move on. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I have right in the house Chief Afolabi Salami. Please put your hands together for Chief Afolabi Salami. I also have Prince Wale Oladunjoye, Babawa Dada. Eda Klabani Pa, Telefon, Babawa Omoba Wale Oladunjoye. We have the Olori Amotekun Ogun State in the house too. Assistant Superintendent Bankole Olajumoke. Thank you so very much for coming around. Then I have the TYLPI, the Yoruba Leadership and Peaceful Initiative. I'm talking of Engineer Jagun Abiodun is also with us here. Thank you so very much. Okay, we need to quickly look at the overview of Southwest security. The overview of Southwest security. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, permit me to invite the Director General Dawn Commission. I'm talking of Mr. Sheye Oyele. Please, you're welcome, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Good morning, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Our Father, General Akariade, the guest speaker of the occasion. Good morning, sir. The chairman of ARG, Honorable Wale Osho. Good morning. Kabiesi. Good morning, sir. Distinguished elders, retired servicemen, you shouldn't forget that. It is a pleasure standing before you just to give an overview of our challenges at the moment as a region. General, thank you for showing up. We appreciate you all the time. You are a treasure to Yoruba land. And I know you will not like me to say this, but I will remove the details just to say thank you for not giving up on Yoruba land. Recently, as recent as about 3 weeks ago, we had a challenge, and I took myself from Ibadan to Yakuyu to go and express my concern about certain issues. And he took it upon himself at 86 to travel all the way to Lagos to go and solve that problem, which he did. I felt bad that we're at a state where we need to go and pick our 86-year-old grandfathers to intervene in matters of the region before we get things done. But he didn't look at it that way. He rose up within days. The things that have taken us months to sort out. Of course, it took him days. He just went from Yakuyu to Lagos and solved it and came back. Thank you, sir. Thank you for doing that. So, we can't even talk about Southwest in isolation when it comes to security. But we have a small paper here that will give an overview of the country and the international space, then narrow it down to Nigeria. I'll be standing here for like 5-7 minutes, so don't think I'll be here for too long. I assure you. We are facing incredible challenges now as a region. You know, we used to tell ourselves Nigeria is sitting on a time bomb. Nigeria is sitting on a time bomb. Nigeria is sitting on a time bomb. And now we are facing incredible challenges and people are saying, what's going on? Why is this? Why is that? And I tend to remind them. Now we kept saying that Nigeria is sitting on a time bomb. What's the meaning of a time bomb? It's timed. At some point, it will explode. So that time bomb we've been talking about for many years, it has now exploded. So the children that we didn't train 26 years ago when we started this democracy, or 27 years ago, they are the ones now carrying guns in the forests, and they are the ones that are seeing kidnapping as a business venture. And they are now all over. That some are now wondering, how did that happen? And I kept thinking, why are you wondering how it happened? You can't tell me that this thing crept on us. We saw it coming, but we never did anything about it. And as long as we had a program at our office yesterday, and we were told that in about 10 years' time, 2036, our population will increase by another 120 million. And nobody can deny that, because UNICEF gave a report about a month ago that between 2023 and 2025, they recorded 14 million births in Nigeria. Please let that sink in. 14 million births, registered births. So give or take, add another 1.5 or 2 million as unregistered births. So in 2 years, Nigeria gave birth to, and this is just a preamble to our challenges. So in 2 years, Nigeria gave birth to about 16 million babies. Between 1960 and 2025, Britain's population, or UK, grew by a total of 16 million. Between 1960 and 2025, UK population with their goats, dogs, lassies, and cats, 16 million. During that period, Nigeria went from 45 million to 200 and whatever you want to give it. This is part of our challenges. And because we as a country did not prepare for that population explosion, so we became the proverbial father who can only cater for 3 children but gave birth to 35 children. It is indeed not a surprise that we will start to struggle. So we mustn't look at our security situation in isolation at all. There's so many factors that has brought us to this point as a country. Just yesterday, there was a man on radio. I listen to radio a lot, particularly radio stations in Lagos. And a phone in. And the man said, this petrol price, the government must do something. That in Singapore, what they've done is blah, blah, blah. They're giving them some palliatives to make sure that the impact is not felt by the people. And I said to myself, well, so the guy on radio said, Singapore, that's nice. So he said we should do it in Nigeria. And the man said, in 1 year, we have given birth to 4 Singapores. So we are not going to be able to afford what Singapore has done. We are struggling with resources. And as long as the population is growing, and this is where our own region comes in, and I'm hoping and I'm praying, that the present president, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, will look strongly into how we can decentralize power. Whatever way you want, whatever language or English you want to use, some call it regionalism, some call it restructuring. We need to decentralize power in order to strengthen our development. And I'm being mild with my, because I can see that this is a TV station. We need to decentralize power to make sure that development can go round. If power is properly decentralized, development will go round, and we will do it in a better way. So, as I said, I have just the paper I have here is only 2 pages. Some I will skip. I said a glimpse from the global. Global security risks are becoming more complex and critical for sustainability. The Global Risk Report by the World Economic Forum describes the operating environment as an age of competition marked by fragmentation, confrontation, and declining trust. The current and ongoing war between US, Israel, and Iran has also redefined the security risk operating space. Alongside the human losses and decimation of critical assets, the UK, US, and Asian stock market indices have tumbled. Taken together, these themes depict a global landscape in which security risks are increasingly interconnected and complex. The challenge for us as leaders and citizens is to understand crises and recognize the patterns that bind them together. This requires the building of institutional, societal, and ethical foundations necessary to navigate an era of enduring uncertainty. For many parts of Nigeria, the first months of 2026 unfolded under a growing cloud of insecurity that unsettled communities and left families grappling with fear, grief, and economic hardship. What used to be regarded as isolated incidents developed into a troubling pattern of kidnapping, killings, and armed attacks, with threats actors operating with increasing boldness. Sadly, Yoruba land has had its fair share of this menace. Our region recorded rise in insecurity over the past months, with over 89 reported security incidents across Southwest states in the last 2 months of 2026. And this is statistics supplied by Halogen Group. We all know Halogen. 89 reported security incidents. Our states, Lagos, Ondo, Oyo, Ogun, Osun, and Ekiti, once considered relatively peaceful compared to other parts of the country, are now witnessing a disturbing rise in kidnappings, armed attacks, and killings. In many rural communities and along major highways, residents now live in fear as criminal gangs exploit forests and remote areas to carry out violent operations. The situation has heightened anxieties among farmers, travelers, and residents who increasingly feel unsafe in their own communities. The violence has not spared community leaders and traditional institutions. On February 18, 2026, Oba Kehinde Jacob Falodun, the Alagamo of Agamo, was abducted in his compound and later shot dead a few meters away from his residence. This horrid incident raised serious questions about the safety of rural communities, sparking outrage whilst leaving the Yoruba community in shock. Such incidents have deepened the sense of insecurity across the region and raised concerns about the safety of lives and property. The Southwest region is gradually coming under increasing pressure as criminal groups move into forests and border communities to establish operational bases for kidnappings and violent attacks. The rising incidents of abduction and attacks on communities indicate a dangerous escalation in the region. Recent attacks have also led to the closure of schools. The impact on farming communities has been particularly severe, with many abandoning their lands for fear of being attacked or kidnapped. Farmers now approach their farmlands with caution. Their wives and daughters are abandoning farm work for fear of being raped by rampaging herders and gunmen. Residents now do vigilante patrols, while travelers on highways journey with their own eyes open. Recent reports, the Nigerian Monitor and Vanguard, indicate that the vast forest belts linking Ondo State to neighboring territories provide natural hideouts for criminal gangs, making it easier for them to move victims and evade security patrols from Akure North to Akoko and parts of our local government area. We have records of our people living with anxieties and fear. Now, at this juncture, one has to say that one must give, and we have to say this, one must actually thank the governors of the region who have taken it upon themselves that in the states where they have Amotekun, they keep funding, and they are funding them. Now, you might say, oh, is the funding enough? But they are funding. I'll give you an example. Oyo State has close to 3,300 Amotekun personnel, and they are being paid. Close to 3,300. Just about 2 weeks ago, Ondo State added an extra 500 to their own Amotekun corps. Recently, here in Ogun State, they commissioned a CCTV center. Why did I bring this up? Because by virtue of my job, I get phone calls. DG, what are they doing? They are not doing anything. And I said, no. Trust me, and I can say this here. If we didn't have Amotekun at all in Southwest this morning, it would have been a different region. Let me repeat it. If we didn't have Amotekun, it would have been a different region. Particularly if you know the efforts of the Amotekun, and I'm just not singling them out for what they're doing. The ones in Ondo State. The Amotekun in Ondo State. I must credit them for doing a yeoman's job. They, as I said here in the paper, they are the ones at the front line, to put it mildly. They're the ones at the front line. I mean, if you're talking of Kogi, Kwara axis, infiltrating, trying to come in, they are the ones there. So when people come around and say, oh, what are they doing? They are not doing anything. I said, these are young men and women who daily sleep in the forests for us to be able to sleep on our own beds. The challenges are mega. And of course, they can be strengthened, but that's a story for another day. But the fact that they are even paying their salaries, giving insurance, is a lot of money that they are. I mean, if a state is paying an extra 3,300 personnel, that's just one state, Oyo, then please, no one should say they are not doing anything. So that's just an aside. So I said here, as I'm drawing this to a close, I said, an expression of public anger came to bear on Tuesday, March 10, when residents in Iluabo and neighboring communities in Akure North staged protests over worsening insecurity. The demonstration followed a series of attacks that had turned the area into a flashpoint for kidnappers operating along the Akure Airport Road corridor. In Osun State, border communities, especially those around Osun-Kwara borders, are living in fear, a fallout of insecurity in Kwara State. Villages that were known to be peaceful are now being attacked by terrorists. Rising cases of insecurity, particularly kidnapping, have become a growing concern across parts of Oyo, with residents of several communities expressing fears over their safety in Okeogun, Ibarapa, and some parts of Ogbomoso, including the old Oyo National Park, where recently they came in and killed some of the forest rangers there. It is believed that the geography of Ogun State makes it attractive to criminal groups. The state shares boundaries with several other states and the Republic of Benin. While its network of highways, including routes linking Lagos to other parts of the country, provides mobility for both legitimate commerce and criminal operations. An emerging pattern in the southwest is of criminal gangs exploiting rural terrains, forests, and poorly monitored highways to carry out attacks. You can see that I didn't use the word bandits. I said criminal gangs exploiting rural terrains to extort money from our people. Again, the Amotekun people have, through their own research and work, they realized that in fact, a lot of the kidnappings at the moment here, and I have to be careful in saying this, it's not just a matter of Fulani bandits alone. That's some of our young ones, our Yoruba ones, they've also seen this as a means of making money. I mean, think of, we all heard about what happened in Crane in Ibadan recently, and they paid ransom. I mean, it was all over, and they paid ransom. That's what they said. So, I know a lady who was kidnapped in Ibadan, and the family paid close to 50 million. Yeah, to get the girl released, close to 50 million. So, some have seen it as a means of making easy money. And of course, because of the climate that, it's the bandits alone, they are able to hide under that canopy and then carry out their nefarious activities. So we also have our own internal challenges there. So as I draw this to a close, I said, a study by Edinburgh University titled Securitization, Politicization and Social Differentiation identified how security has shaped the configuration of politics. Securitization suggests that national security policy is not a natural given, but carefully designated by politicians, community leadership, and decision makers. These are the actors that have the social and institutional power to move the issue beyond politics. This is because security issues are not simply out there, but rather must be articulated as problems. Securitization theory challenges traditional approaches to security and asserts that issues are not essentially threatening in themselves. Rather, it is by referring to them as security issues that they become security problems. Securitization therefore forces us to raise the question, security for who? Security from what? And security by who? An issue therefore becomes securitized when an audience, a community of people, in this case, Yoruba people, collectively agrees on the nature of the threats and support taking extraordinary measures to confront it. Hence the theme of today's dialogue, the politics of security and the security of politics in Yoruba land. The theme reminds us that security is not just a neutral act, but a political one. From that starting point, we as a people, as Yoruba, must be better able to dig deeper and investigate the various insecurities that now reside at and across Yoruba land. One of the key issues to consider today, therefore, is that security cannot be removed from normal politics. The insecurity in Nigeria, and by extension Yoruba land, is now that which threatens to restrict political activities in the name of existential necessity. At this forum today, we must unpack the politics of security and the security of politics. This will require an understanding of security as part of normal politics. Finally, as a people, we need the normalizing of security, as this will enable us to engage in democratic deliberations. There should be no go areas. We must be ready to confront our demons. We must, I repeat, be ready to confront our demons. We have shied away from the truth for so long. We have swept so many things under the carpet. The carpet has now become undulating, and we are tripping on it. In moments of crisis, leadership is not only judged by policies, but also by presence and compassion. What our leaders cannot afford to do at such a time as this is selective neutrality. That is, see no evil, speak no evil, and hear no evil. Beyond our shared geographical space, Nigerians across all ethnic groups do believe that the nation's security situation demands more decisive political responses. One that continues intelligence-driven security with visible leadership that reassures communities. For those who have already buried relatives, paid ransom to kidnappers, or are waiting endlessly for the safe return of abducted family members, the crisis is no longer an abstract issue. It is here. This is because the storm is now threatening our existential space. As I go to sit down, I will leave us with this, that in the past, in Yoruba land, we were told that farmers, or trade farmers in particular, they will leave their wares or their farm produce out there. And if a share is passing and he wants to buy, of course they've written how much it costs. You pick and leave the money there, and you go. In those days, in a community, in Yoruba community, at least I know of that, if you are caught stealing, they will come around and shame your family and push you out of that society. In those days, you must be a man and woman of high integrity before you can even be honored with a title or whatever in your local community. Let's ask ourselves, is it the same today? Who are those that we are celebrating today? Our values have changed completely. And because our values have changed, the young ones, they are seeing a different Yoruba land. A Yoruba land of anything goes. oh, nothing will happen. And in several cases, nothing happens. So it behoves on us here again today to let us rekindle that type of Yoruba society that gave us, which later, when the likes of Obafemi Awolowo came, and they improved on it, and we started calling ourselves the Pace-setter tribe or Pace-setter race, Pace-setter region. It is not a lost cause. If only we continue to show genuine leadership, being led by men and women of integrity. When I started, I said I went to Yakuyu to pick an 86-year-old man to go and solve a challenge for me in Lagos. I went to him because I saw him as a man of integrity. We need many more of him in Yoruba land for us to have a stable society. As I go to sit down, ask yourself, can a Dawn Commission come to me because I have shown integrity? Thank you very much.
Please, you can do better for him, please. Wow. Wow. That was a very nice speech from my lovely uncle, the Director General Dawn Commission, Mr. Sheye Oyeleye. Thank you for that very wonderful housing there. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we have just arrived at the heartbeats of the reason why we all are gathering here, seated to witness now. If you look at what we have there, before the storm arrives, the politics of security and the security of politics in Yoruba land. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, kí ìjì tó dé, ṣíṣe òṣèlú lórí ààbò àti ààbò lórí òṣèlú ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, at this point, I'm going to invite a man, a father figure, a man who has seen it all. I'm talking of a man who was there during the Civil War. So I called him a Civil War hero, a social, cultural Yoruba elder, and superlative leader, one of the most respected Yoruba men alive today. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for a legendary, an icon, a gem, a technocrat, an administrator, a father figure, a strong Yoruba man. I am talking of Baba General Alani Akiriade, retired. Please appreciate him. Appreciate him. Appreciate him. Yes. Thank you so much, Daddy. Thank you very much. Eli Jokosa. Eshesa. Okay, okay, sir. Eshe. Baba ni kokoko ni arale. Eba pa te fún wọn lẹ́ẹ̀kan. Thank you so much, sir.
Wọ́n ti kí gbogbo lé, wọ́n dẹ̀ ti dárúkọ wa ní kọ̀ọ̀kan, so mo fẹ́ dó tì wọ́n pé kẹ́ ṣe gáfárà fún mi, kọjá pé mi náà nǹkan ti sọ yẹn ni mo dó sí kábíyèsí. Ẹ ṣé o, ẹ káàbọ̀, mo kí yín o, ẹ dẹ̀ kú àṣeyẹ wa o. Mo ti rí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn ẹ̀gbọ́n mi kan tó ń ṣẹ̀ ń dé látẹ̀kọ́ kankan, so ìyẹn náà ó wúyàn lórí. Ẹ ṣé o. Tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀ mi ò gbọ́ àgbọ́yé dáadáa, so nǹkan tí mo múra fún yàtọ̀ sí nǹkan tá à ń ṣe nísìn. Kí mo múra sí, mo rò pé bóyá adẹ́yìn o tàbí kan náà àwọn kan tí mo ti kó tira láti jẹta pé agòkè bíbà àwa sọ kankan.
but nígbà tí mo ti gbọ́ nǹkan tí alága tó sọ tí mo gbọ́ nǹkan tí Sẹ̀yẹ tó sọ kò sí nǹkan míì tó wà nínú kiri tí mo mú dání tí wọ́n àti sọ àkànmọ́ àtúmọ̀ fẹ́nu pítóbó ní tí n bá tún ní kémi náà tó máa sọ kankan ṣé gbogbo nǹkan tí tá a sọ sílẹ̀ mo kàn fẹ́ fi ẹnìkan hàn wá nígbà tí mo mú bọ̀ bí mo rò pé mo lọ síbi kan tí màá ti máa sọ pé lágbájá rè ló láre àṣé òun gan mọ ilẹ̀ yìí ju èmi lọ ọmọ even western region tí mi ti wá tí ìdílé kan ó mọ bẹ̀ jù mí lọ bó ṣe ń wọlé ń bí nísàlẹ̀ mẹ́rin náà ti ń dìmọ̀ náà ti ń sẹ́yìn ti gbogbo àgbọ̀wá lókè but mo ṣe rò pé mo ṣe ní bí responsibility ẹ má bínú torí bàbá mi àmúlùmálà ló má pè àní tó ṣe Yorùbá ló fẹ́ sọ ni àbọ̀ fẹ́ sọ èwo kò sí nǹkan tó ń jẹ́ Yorùbá English nǹkan kan Babalọ́lá Professor Babalọ́lá nìyẹn so ẹ forí jì mí kò yé mi dáadáa ni mo mú wá nítorí pé èmi kó má jẹ́ pé àwa Yorùbá nìkan là ń rò pé kìíní ń dùn wá pé ó kọ wá lóminú ó ń bọ̀ á kú nǹkan kan kí mo ṣe mú ọmọdé mo mú wá dání àtijọ́ wà ní àmì tẹ́lẹ̀ ní lọ́wájú lọ ẹ̀yìn òun náà ó ti kúrò bẹ́ẹ̀ òun náà ti di àforítì àbí kílẹ̀ wọ́n lọ fẹ̀yìntì so mo rò pé àwọn èèyàn wọ́n pọ̀ bí so mo mú wá tẹ́lẹ̀ pé mo fẹ́ kó fún wa ní nǹkan kan àti pé mo fẹ́ kó rí wípé kíní ìlú Yorùbá ẹ má máa rò pé bóyá àkàndàkẹ́ torí pé èèyàn wa ló wà l'Àbújá èèyàn wa ló wà níbìkan náà yàtọ̀ sí nǹkan tá a jẹ́ nígbà tí bàbá Awólọ́wọ̀ ti wà láyé àbọ̀n ṣèjọba rí níjọ́ kìíní tí bàbá fi kù bọ́n ṣe rí but torí ẹ̀ kọ́ ni àfi àsopá fẹ́ràn Nàìjíríà àsopá àfẹ́ bá gbogbo aráyé gbé pọ̀ but nígbà bá ń gbé pọ̀ náà ayọ̀ ká mọ̀ wọn ara ẹni àwa ní nǹkan tí wọ́n bí a bí tá à ń ṣe àwọn tó kù náà ní nǹkan tí wọ́n bí wọn bí tá à ń ṣe àwo ò lè fìwọ́ sí lọ nǹkan tí wọ́n bí níbí tiwọn òtún nílẹ̀ tiwa náà kò ṣe gáfárà fún wa kò má ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ so mo mú ọkùnrin wá pé kó mọ̀ pé Yorùbá n tó wà lẹ́yìn kò tẹ́ alọ́run o kí ẹ mọ̀ mọ̀ sọ pé torí pé àwa ni gómìnà àbẹ kí ni akura wa president nǹkan kan no n ta fẹ́ ṣe ta fẹ́ kí ìlú yìí ṣe iṣẹ́ àwa nìkan gbogbo àwa tó wà lóyè ni pé ká fi sínú ìwé ká fi láàrin ara wa constitution tó ń sọ yìí pé gbogbo wa pátápátá àpapà Yorùbá tí àwa ti wà o a lè dálù jẹ́ a ti rí àwọn èèyàn tó ju 150,000 lọ tí wọ́n dẹ̀ ní flag tí wọ́n dẹ̀ ní ibi tí wọ́n jókòó sí ní United Nations lórúkọ ìlú wọn ẹ̀sọ́ tó bó tó àfẹ́ tó 50 million ní ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ so kí wá kí ni lálẹ́ àkókò tó wà bẹ́ẹ̀ ọ̀gbẹ́ni kọ́nẹ́ tó níyàwó mi ò mọ̀ pé ọmọ mi jù mí lọ o tí mo wá mú ẹ wá pé tó bá dèlù yín kó lè lọ kó wọn náà fojú ara ẹ rí pé àwọn tí àwọn ọ̀dọ́ ọmọdé ń yọkìnní wọ́n ti dàgbà nísìnyí ọ̀gá wọn rè wọ́n ti dàgbà bọ̀ láti bẹ̀rẹ̀ wá ni wọ́n ti máa ń tí nǹkan bá ṣẹlẹ̀ àwọn òkè ń pariwo háhá wọn kì í sọ pé kí o wá ká máa bínú ká máa fẹnu kú gbogbo bí a ṣe kí la fẹ́ fi yanjú ẹ̀ ní kí ló kàn tá a máa ṣe ní ọ̀rọ̀ tiwọn ó ní ARD mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín púpọ̀ púpọ̀ ní dùn láti wá láti ìjẹta ni mo ti ráàyè tí mo ti ń sáré bàlàbàlà kiri òru àná ni mo ṣe padà sí pẹ̀lú ohun àti kọ́ni ìwọlé ìkọ̀tù Yorùbá yìí fi Ìjẹ̀ṣà nìyẹn tẹ̀ so látàná láti jọ lọ kiri Abuja la wà lánàá irú nǹkan báyìí náà ló dẹ̀ ṣẹlẹ̀ ń bẹ̀ ní another form so bọ̀tẹ́lẹ̀ yìí ó tún wá yàtọ̀ ó jọ nǹkan tí Afẹ́nifẹ́re ìlú àkùrò tó máa ń ṣe pé ẹ jẹ́ ká sọ ní kí là á ṣe ní mo rò pé ibi tá a wà rí o ẹ ti sọ débi kan mo dẹ̀ ń tẹ́ sọ fún mi pé a máa tún jókòó pọ̀ kan a máa pa àwọn èèyàn míì tí a máa jókòó tí wàá bí tá a máa sọ àbí bọ́yá ti change mind yìí wọ̀ bọ́yá pé bẹ́ẹ̀ ni o bẹ́ẹ̀ ni so èmi inú ìlú á dùn láti dákẹ́ kí n gbọ́ gbogbo nǹkan tí àwọn èèyàn tí wọ́n máa sọ àpé gbọ́n ni àkìpé gbọ̀ kò sẹ́sẹ́ nìkan tó gbọ́n tán kò sẹ́ni tó rí ẹ́bí kò sí nǹkan tẹ́ lè rí ẹnìkan ò lè rí nǹkan kan tán so wọ́n bá tẹ̀mí rí ọ̀dà àbọ̀tò mo fẹ́ gbọ́ nǹkan táwọn ẹlòmíì náà máa ìyẹ̀jú wo náà máa gbà wá gbígbó náà ṣe ní ká ṣe ń dọ̀ yẹ ká máa sọ yìí ṣẹyẹ o sọ tó pọ̀ ju tí mo kọ síbi lọ ṣé nǹkan tí mo rò pé ò sọ ò ní pé àmúkíní ìbí ẹni pé ṣé àwọn ológun ni ká máa yìnbọn síra wa ká máa sáré kiri igbó kò rí bẹ́ẹ̀ o sẹ́rí ibi tá a wà ní ìsìn kí ni Yorùbá democracy náà Yorùbá democracy lẹ́la wa o wọ́n lè kí so àwọn èèyàn táwọn ń pè ní civilian àwọn náà ní ìlú o àwọn náà yànjọba síbẹ̀ o ìjọba yẹn nìkan ló lágbára láti máa ṣe nǹkan fún tí ó máa di gbogbo wa mú láti tán bá ṣòfin tàbá lù ú pẹ́rẹ́ ọlọ́pàá wọn mú wa so bó ṣe yẹ kó jẹ́ nìyẹn so sójà náà àtọlọ́pàá tẹ̀ ń wò yẹn ẹrú ìjọba ni wọ́n o nǹkan tí ìjọba bá ní kan á ṣe nìkan ní á lè ṣe o tá bá dẹ̀ ní nǹkan tí wọ́n fẹ́ ṣe tí wọ́n bá rí kó yàtọ̀ díẹ̀ wọ́n á padà sọ́dọ̀ ìjọba wọn lábẹ́ ilé ńbẹ̀ láti sọ fún wọn pé báwọn ti fẹ́ ṣe rí ní báyìí ìjọba gbọ́dọ̀ fọwọ́ sí i tí ìjọba ló máa ń sọ fún nǹkan máa ń pè ní rules of engagement talẹ̀ lè tá mọ̀ talẹ̀ lè tá mọ̀ ó wà nínú ọlọ́pàá ó wà nínú ti sójà wa so tí ìjọba ò bá dáwọ́ sí tí ò bá múra kiri àwọn náà ò ní reason láti múra kiri kẹ torí pé mídìmọ̀ ti pẹ́ wípé ẹni tó bá lóun fẹ́ ṣiṣẹ́ sójà kó má ronú nǹkan mi kó má ronú ọ̀la pọ̀ jù torí pé ó lè kú lónìí wọn ò dẹ̀ àdájú pàmò náà sọ pé ó ti ṣẹlẹ̀ nìyẹn so torí ẹ̀ ìjọba ó gbọ́dọ̀ fún wa ní ó gbọ́dọ̀ sọ ní báyìí láti máa ṣe báyìí ni eléyìí tá a fẹ́ ókè ọ̀dà ẹ̀sìn bẹ́ẹ̀ but a lè dédé dá bọ́ síta kákan máa ṣe nǹkan tó wù wá o torí ẹ̀ láti níjọba àpapọ̀ wà lábújá a níjọba ti ẹ̀kọ́ lẹ̀ wa pé 36 àbí nǹkan ní gómìnà náà pè wọ́n gbogbo gómìnà yẹn ló ní ibi tí wọ́n ṣe fún ibi tí káàlà oko ẹ̀ wà yóò yẹn ní state tọ́níṣe òògùn ìníkan gbà wọ́n nínú ibẹ̀ yẹn àwọn èèyàn tó wà ńbẹ̀ ilẹ̀ tó wà ńbẹ̀ ni gbogbo ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ tó máa ṣẹlẹ̀ ńbẹ̀ olè ẹ̀ka mú o pé àdàpọ̀ ṣiṣẹ́ tó bá dẹ̀ ṣe dáadáa tó lè wá dùn gbogbo pé nǹkan tí ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ ìsọ̀rọ̀ rẹ̀ pé àwọn ibi lórí ìlú ọjọ́ báyìí àwọn gómìnà wa ẹ̀kọ́ dùkú báyìí àwọn kọmíṣánná wọn ẹ̀jọ̀ dùkú tí wọ́n sọ fún gbòòní kan wọ́n sọ pé gbogbo ilẹ̀ Yorùbá wọ́n sì yẹ kí wọ́n dùkú rè torí pé àwa náà fi wọ́n sábẹ́ àwa èèyàn lẹ́nu kọ́ kan máa tọ́jú wọ́n dẹ̀ ń pa wá ẹnìkan dẹ̀ wọlé ẹnìkan ó lọ ẹwẹ̀ ó ń ti wẹ̀ so kí ni wà ń bẹ̀ fún tí ìyẹn ọba ti ṣiṣẹ́ ta ni ọmọ sanwó orí fún ọ bẹ́ẹ̀ bá dẹ̀ máa sọ títí gbogbo nǹkan tá a máa sọ nípa àwọn ìjọba wa gómìnà nìkan nípò lè ní wọn àbí pé wọ́n ti jí ariwo tán nǹkan dẹ̀ ni ẹjọ́ olówó kẹ̀kẹ́ lánàá tó gbé Volkswagen àbí mọ́tò wọlé bẹ́ẹ̀ pé ló lè àwa náà àjẹ̀bí o àjẹ̀bí so ó yẹ kí ìjọba kó mọ̀ wípé tí àwọn ìtajà àwọn èèyàn bá yá àwọn ará tí wọ́n gan ni ò yá o torí kò sẹ́ni tí ó san owó orí fún ọ o òkú òkè sí ọba o so ibi tó mo rò pé ibi tí ọ̀rọ̀ wa kù sí nìyẹn wípé à ń láti dúró láti bá àwọn tó jẹ́ èèyàn wa sọ̀rọ̀ àwọn tó wọ́n ń ṣàǹṣì ọ̀gá wa àwọn àti gómìnà ni o àti àwọn mínísítà nìkan gbà wọ́n gbogbo wọn la ní adélábùjà ní gbogbo ẹ̀ ó lè má pààyàn lékẹ́ lọ jókòó síbi kan nàkẹ́ ẹlẹ́gbọ́ ẹ̀gbọ́ kí ni so kí là á ṣe ni ó yẹ ká lè máa sọ fún ìjọba bí ok bí sọ́dọ̀ bí wọ́n ṣe bí ẹ ti ṣe bí ìṣẹ̀yẹ ṣe lálẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ló pọ̀ rí ṣùgbọ́n 2014 àwa wà l'Àbújá wọ́n ti àlọ́ bẹ̀ wọ́n ní ká lọ sí constitution nígbà constitution yẹn a sọ̀rọ̀ security o torí wọ́n ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí gbéyàn gbà yẹn ẹ̀rọ kì í ṣe ọ̀rọ̀ àná ní pẹ́ tí wọ́n ti gbéyàn ẹ̀dẹ̀ sọ́ngbà yẹn ìpè ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kò bẹ̀rẹ̀ ń lù yìí tá a bá fẹ́ fún example India àti Pakistan ọmọ ìyá ni wọ́n jọ pa àlàbá yìí ni èmi ò mọ ọdún tí wọ́n ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí mọ́ bára wọn jà nítorí kí ni bí irú bíi náà ni ẹnìkan fẹ́ mọ́ lọ sí gbàdúrà lẹ́yìn márùn lóòjọ́ ẹnìkan ní rárá Sunday nìkan ló máa jókòó pọ̀ tó máa gbàgbá kí ló kàn á pẹ̀lú gbogbo yẹn bọ̀tú nǹkan tó ara nǹkan tó ń ti wàhálà tó wà lọ́dọ̀ wọn náà nìyẹn o àpáfọ̀ pé èmi ló fẹ́ gba kashmir ìwọ èmi ló ní ìwọ kọ́ ló ní nǹkan kan but gbogbo yẹn ò tí ì tó jà ṣùgbọ́n torí wípé gbogbo àwọn ológun tẹ̀wọ́ pé kan mínísítà pé kan gbígbà mí president pàpà pé kan ọlọ́pàá pé kan gbogbo wọn ni wọ́n fi ń jẹun mo mọ̀ pé àwọn professors wà wà mí tí ẹ bá lọ wo nǹkan tí Amẹ́ríkà ń ṣe lónìí tó ń lọ pààyàn ní Gaza ó pa wọ́n títí ó tún lọ sí ìdáhùn pa wọ́n kan kí ni wọ́n wá Israel wá ilẹ̀ Trump wá ibi tí ó ti jí epo tẹ́pọ̀n náà mo máa pọ̀ máa dẹ̀ mo máa ní táǹkà kókó lọ báyìí kò gbọ́dọ̀ kọjá bẹ̀ wọn ò dẹ̀ lé wọn epo tí wọn kọ́ ti wà ní so nǹkan wá nìyẹn àdìsó ìjọba ló máa ń dá wàhálà lẹ̀ ló máa dá nǹkan tí ò dá sílẹ̀ so ìjọba ni a ní láti dìmú ká bá sọ̀rọ̀ gbogbo gọ́vnà tí wọ́n wà bíi lónìí wọn bá sọ̀rọ̀ Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn tí wọ́n sọ fún nìkan ńbo ni wọ́n wà ìmí ìlú òun ṣe ń gbà yẹn lọ́rùn náà ṣe bí ariwo tó ẹ̀pa tó pọ̀ jù nkúlé àríjì ló jẹ́ kí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ wọn wọ́n sọ gbọ́dọ̀ àwọn náà lè ṣe àwọn á ṣe but ṣé bó ṣe ká ṣe bọ́lọ́bọ̀lọ́ là ń ṣe yìí kó sì máa pa ẹ̀yẹn wa so ọ̀rọ̀ kù tí a gbọ́dọ̀ sọ láàrin ara wa kì í ṣe níbi ìtòrí wọn sọ pé gbogbo ẹ̀ ní aráyé ọmọ gbọ́ ní ibì kan ẹ̀ tó kàn ẹ̀ tí ó kàn gbogbo ẹ̀ ló máa gbọ́ so ọ̀rọ̀ sì kù lẹ̀ pé àwọn tí wọ́n jẹ́ ọ̀gá wa tí wọ́n jẹ́ politician tí wọ́n ń ṣòfin wọ́n láti lọ ṣe òfin tó pẹ̀lú Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn tá à ń sọ yìí alágbára ìwá ni pé Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn jáde kọ́ mọ́ ní mọ́tò tó gbé kọ́ mọ́ ní ìbọn tó fi defend ara wọn èmi sójà lèmi fún níbọn ẹ wá ní kémi lọ pàdé èmi wá jẹ́ erin bọ́ mi ò lọ so bó ṣe rí ni is a simple thing so tí àwọn àbá tí wọn bá ti sọ fún wa directly yes ẹ̀yin ọmọ ogun rẹ̀ ẹ̀yin tẹ́ mọ sọ́gbòrè ẹ̀yin tẹ́ máa ṣe báyìí rè wọ́n lè lọ pátẹ́ẹ̀nì wọn dáadáa tó mọ̀ pé wọ́n ti ń ṣe wọ́n lè fún wa ní nǹkan tó táwọn náà fi ní tẹ́lẹ̀ òfin ní máa bà wọ́n àbí ọlọ́bàyàn wọ́n ló gbé AK-47 dání ọwọ́ á mú ọ̀bẹ dání àbádà kò lè ṣiṣẹ́ so kò dẹ̀ sí ṣe nǹkan tí èèyàn kan déédéé rà lọ́jà tó máa gbé sọ́run tó sọ pé ọ̀fẹ́ defend ara ìjọba ló ní kíní lórí ẹ̀ wọ́n láti sọ fún wa. ìkejì àwọn èèyàn tó ń ṣàìdá tó lọ sí abúlé alábúlé tó pa nínú oko tó pa ọkọ tó wọ ibì kan tó pa ìyàwó ẹ̀ tó pa ọmọ ẹ̀ ìlú ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ nǹkan ni wọ́n ṣe níbẹ̀. nígbà tó finally ẹnìkan rí mú kan múnú wọn ẹ wá ní ẹ pàdé ó lè pàwàdà so ẹ wá lọ fi sínú lẹ́mbì kan ó jókòó bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́ máa jẹun kí kìíní kí àwọn pòfẹ́sọ̀ ọ̀dà wọ́n máa lọ bá sọ̀rọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ nìkan à ń tanra wa jẹ ni o mo tíjọba ò bá sọ fún wa pé ìbọn táwọn bá fọwọ́ sí tàbí ìtàn bá rà ẹ tàn bá gbélé lọ́wọ́ tàn dẹ̀ sọ bó ṣe lè lò fún un nìkan ló lè ṣe o bọ̀ tó bá ti di pé àkànmọ́ lọ kó kiri yẹlẹyẹlẹ gbogbo àná lọ yẹ ká máa bẹ̀rù torí pé ìfà tá à ń sáfò yẹn gan àṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ lọ́ra ni so ìdí ẹ̀ tí ìjọba tó fi ní agbára èyí tá à ń sọ èrè a gbọ́dọ̀ bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀ a gbọ́dọ̀ kún àjọ a gbọ́dọ̀ sọ fún wọn pé wọ́n rí afín wọ́n tó ń fọ ẹ̀mí wá ṣòfò láì jẹ́ pé wọ́n fún wa ní àyè láti. ìkejì ẹ lọ mú èèyàn ẹ lọ mú yàkúnú kún ilé ìdáwó ṣe irú ó ṣe tréfé díẹ̀ àwọn olùsọ̀dọ̀ dókítà wọ́n tẹ̀sí ẹ̀ wọ́n ló dáa ó lè ṣiṣẹ́ ọlọ́pàá ó lè ṣiṣẹ́ ológun ok wọ́n mú jáde wọ́n wá kún un lọ sí Ìkẹjà wọ́n ní wọ́n kò ní police college ó lọ ṣe training bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n kọ́ níṣẹ́ wọ́n ṣe gbogbo ẹ̀ wọ́n dẹ̀ mọ́ ṣe gbogbo nígbà tó yá lẹ́bàá ní kó máa lọ sí bẹ́nikẹ́bi pé bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ó ti lọ bá àwọn tó wà bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ó ti máa ṣiṣẹ́ yóò bẹ́ẹ̀ gan tó gbọ́ ìwọ̀nba ni o òyìnbó wọn tó lọ bá bẹ̀ wọ́n ṣe ìbò ọ̀tọ̀ ní nǹkan bí ìgbà tí ẹ̀ wá lẹ́nu ìbànú tí ò rí èyí bí wọ́n ṣe ṣe fún wa ní skul jọ̀hún nítorí bá ti sọ Yorùbá pẹ́rẹ́ ní skul òun lọ jìyà ni o torí pé it is not allowed vernacular náà máa kù Yorùbá ní Yorùbá rẹ̀ ìlà wà mọ̀ sí wọ́n ní vernacular ni o ò ní sọ so ọwọ́ adébẹ̀ nísìn ìlú bẹ́ẹ̀ ó gbọ́ títí ìyá bàbá ẹ̀kọ́ pọ̀ nígbà tó débẹ̀ kọ́ fún nǹkan tó ń sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ ẹ wá ní kọmọtò ọlọ́pàá bẹ́ẹ̀ tó bá jókòó sí ẹ̀gbẹ́ ibìkan táwọn méjì bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ tí ò gbọ́ ó yan tẹ̀ fẹ́ sàdó ẹ̀ nìkan bẹ́ẹ̀ ń sàdó ká lọ wá ọ̀tá máa wò lórí o kìíní kan bóyá nǹkan tó ń sọ nìyẹn á rò pé wọ́n dìtẹ̀ mọ́ mi wọ́n fẹ́ pàǹjẹ́ nígbà tó wò mọ́ wọn tó fọkàn. ìta trọ́bù ta ní nínú tí gbogbo ara ẹni sọ pé ọlọ́pàá ò lè lọ síbi tí obìnrin ti bí ẹ tó ti forí ẹ sọlẹ̀ tó ti gbédè tó mọ̀ pé ibì kan wà téèyàn gbọ́dọ̀ wọ̀ ibì kan wà tó lè wọ̀ ibo ṣe ń báwọn èèyàn sọ̀rọ̀ rí gbà wò ibẹ̀ nìkan lèèyàn ti lè sọ ọlọ́pàá tó máa yege o ìtókù àtàrà wa jẹ ni o ní ìlú bòmí ibi ìsọjà ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ wọn nígbà tí wọ́n bá ń pè wọn síbi tí wọ́n máa gbé ibi tí wọ́n ti máa gbé unit wọn ẹ rí i pé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ wọ́n ti àdúgbò yẹn wá ni torí pé tó bá fẹ́ gbọ́ nídé tó bá fẹ́ lọ wò yá ẹ̀ àwọn náà gbọ́dọ̀ fún lówó ọkọ̀ tó bá ti bẹ́ẹ̀nikẹ́bì wá tó dẹ̀ wà níbí owó ọkọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀nikẹ́bì náà máa fún bọ́ tó bá ti wá sínú wa wọ́n lè lọ máa rìn lọ àárí ìyá ẹ̀ tó máa rìn lọ sọ́jà ní bá wọn bẹ̀ but a lè ní kó máa rìn lọ sí Kánò so gbogbo nǹkan tó ń sọ kì í ṣe nǹkan tó le púpọ̀ nígbà bá sọ́dọ̀ òyìnbó láwọn sọ pé nítorí láwọn fi hẹ́dẹ̀ sí àwọn kan kò le púpọ̀ nítorí àrùn ojú ni àrùn inú so ìdí ẹ̀ tá a fi ń láti jókòó ti àwọn tí wọ́n jẹ́ ọ̀gá wa politicians láti fi yé wọn ní bó ṣe yẹ kó rírì kí wọ́n lè bá a jà fún un nígbà tí wọ́n bá lọ rí ní ọ̀dọ̀ wa bì ní bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ Àbújá tí wọ́n lọ ṣe anything agbọ́dọ̀ wọ́gbọ́n láti mọ bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀ ìṣe in fact káàtẹ̀ tó dìbò fẹ́ lómi ọ̀yẹ́ kábílẹ̀ rẹ̀ so yé àbí òye but àráyè yẹ tí wọ́n bá ti kówó jáde tí wọ́n bá ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí pín kiri tí wọ́n ti gbàgbé àwọn tó kù yẹn wọ̀ so ìṣẹ̀yẹ ó ṣe bó ṣe rí gan ọkọ̀ ẹ̀jú yẹn lọ ṣùgbọ́n omi èkó 1 point ó ní àwa náà ṣe inú kínní níbi tá a dúró tá a wà yìí this is Abẹ́òkúta ìṣèlú 10 years ago not even 10 decades not 100 years ago ṣe bí ṣejú wa ní ìyàwó tó fi lọ gba yẹn tó bá mú ọkọ kan lọ súnmọ́lẹ̀ síbi kan nígbà tí kìíní ìfọ́ tí ọlọ́pàá ṣáà tó ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ rí pé ẹ̀ ń gbé oko kiri ẹ̀ ń gbé ẹ̀ládàá àdéhùn tó ń ṣe kórókóró ẹ̀ tó gbé okùn sẹ́yìn mọ́tò kìíní kan ẹ̀yìn ẹ̀gùn ọ̀kadà méjì ń bolẹ̀ lọ ibi tí àṣírí ti tú nìyẹn pé wọ́n má bínú wọ́n gbà wọ́n síṣẹ́ ni àwọn máa wọ́n fẹ́ mú ẹnìkan ìlú so ọ̀dà ẹ lọ jókòó ẹ lọ wà mẹ́rin kẹsàn fún ọ pé ẹ ti débẹ̀ wọ́n máa gbé àwé yẹn bọ̀ wọ́n gbé àwé wa nílẹ̀ yìí ọlọ́pàá wá gbà lóhùn jẹ́ kó mú lọ́wọ́ gbóò pé kó lọ dúró wọ́n wá lọ mú ìyàwó ẹ̀ ìgbà tó dé ibi ọlọ́pàá ní afáàdà pé òótọ́ ni olóṣanwó kí ni abilé rè kí ló dé kí lọ́kọ ẹ ṣe fún ẹ oníkòdà oníkìíní ni ọmọ ọláhùn pé owó burúkú wà lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ bọ̀ kò ní fún yàn tí ó lò lọ́ba nìkan lọ mú un nílùú wa náà ni àrùgbé pọ̀pọ̀ síbù mo kàn fi yẹn sọ pé ó ti da equal opportunity business ẹ̀yin pè ní kidnapping ẹnìkan pè ní banditry gbogbo ẹ̀ equal opportunity business ni ẹni tó bá ráàyè ẹ̀ á rí 10 million gbà láàrin ọ̀sẹ̀ kan kíkiní kan a rí 20 million gbà láàrin ọ̀sẹ̀ kan àdẹ̀ tó rò níbi ìjọba olórí àlè lọ sí báńkì àgbà ju 500,000 lọ. Báwo ni láàrin ọjọ́ méjì tẹ̀ fi rí 100 million tẹ lọ kó sínú tẹ wá gbé lọ sínú gbó láti lọ kó fáwọn kan? Òye yín pé àwọn tẹ lọ kó fún yẹn ẹ fún alágbára ni ẹ kíìpù wọn ẹ tẹ fún alágbára wọn lè lọ ra tó bá wù wọn. Àárín wa náà ń gbé gbogbo ẹni pé ṣe oníṣẹ́pọ̀n ní 550 cells àbí ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ń bò náà wà wá àdé àásọ̀pá ànímọ́ àbẹ́ni kí àárín níjẹta táàrí ń jẹrin kọ́dẹ̀dẹ̀ tí tó ń bá wa gbé mẹ́ ànímọ̀ àmọ́ o ẹ jẹ́ kẹ́ gbogbo wa ká la ojú wa ká lọ etí wa ká dẹ̀ ṣàánú àwọn èèyàn wa ká máa sọ̀rọ̀ síta ká máa lọ sọ fáwọn èèyàn. Mo mọ̀ pé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ yín o bàbá ọlọ́pàá wà mí bọ̀ mo mọ̀ pé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ èèyàn kì í fẹ́ lọ sọ́dọ̀ ọlọ́pàá. Ìdí ẹ̀ ni pé ẹni tó lọ mú ẹjọ́ wá ó lè tó de ẹlẹ́bi owó ní gbogbo ẹ̀ àbí bàbá ọlọ́pàá wà mí. So irú ẹ̀ náà ó tó báwọn èèyàn wájà tó ní fẹ́ ìjọba lọ sọ fọlọ́pàá nísìn wọ́n tó wá kárí ẹ̀mọ́ lóru wọ́n ti lú ẹ̀mọ́ lé ẹni tó yíyan lọ report tó ṣe nǹkan àìdá wọ́n á ní kó máa lọ. Ìyẹn náà wà lára problem ta ní nínú ilé tí a kó àwọn aṣòfin sí yẹn ti yojúmọ́ làwọn ẹlòmíì láyà bẹ́ẹ̀ tó sọ pé nínú bí tá a ti jókòó sí pé ara àwọn ní ẹwà bẹ́ẹ̀ sójà ó wà lára wọn ọlọ́pàá ó wà lára wọn but bóyá tá a bá kó gbogbo ọlọ́pàá láti agbègbè ibi tí wọ́n ti wá pé tí wọ́n bá ti mú yàn tí wọ́n bá ti fẹ́ lọ ṣe léṣe bí yẹn kó má lọ di ẹni tí wọ́n but ọ̀nkù wọn ni distant ọ̀nkù ìyá wọn kan tó ti lọ máàlì síbì kan ni ló bí ẹnìkan tí yẹn náà wá bí orí yẹn nínú gbogbo yẹn náà ló máa ń bá yẹn lẹ́rù kó má lọ gbé èèyàn kó wá di kó ara ilé gan ni wọ́n lọ gbé ìdí ẹ̀ tó fi ẹ̀ ká làyẹ̀ra wa nìyẹn kò make it for unity wípé torí pé ọlọ́pàá bẹ́ńkẹ́bìlì wọ́n ṣe ní òbí kan tó ń pè ní unity kan níyẹn o àtọ̀ so ṣẹyẹ o mo rò pé inú àwọn yọ àbí chairman nínú àwọn nǹkan tẹ́ fẹ́ máa ṣe ó yẹ kẹ́ ẹ fi síbẹ̀ pé àwọn tó jẹ́ tó ń gbọ́ bà wá mọ́ láti mọ̀ wípé kò sẹ́ni tó fẹ́ fà gbọ́dẹ́ kò sẹ́ni tó kọjú pé àwọn èèyàn wa kó má máa pa wọ́n kiri lọ́nà wọ́n jọ wọ́n sọ wọ́n sí òfin gidi òfin tó dáa tí ó yẹ pé a máa rí owó tá a fi máa tọ́jú wọn. Àwọn èèyàn ń ṣiṣẹ́ ní ọ́ìfì gbàtàǹbọ̀ ní bíbá ní ìsìn èmi ò pẹ́ díẹ̀ tí mo gbọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ rẹ̀ tí mo rí gbogbo factories tó wà ń bẹ̀ àwọn náà ní ìdí security náà wọ́n á dáwó sí i tí wọ́n bá mọ̀ pé àdìkówó yẹn jẹ́ o torí pé another problem yẹn o lẹ́bàá yẹn nìkan pé kọ́ máa lọ kéde kámówó wa wọ́n máa yí mú sí pàpọ̀ kí ló dé wọ́n ní rọ́ọ̀nù wọ́n ní wọ́n kówó yẹn jẹ wọ́n ò ní fi ra kankan wọ́n ò ní fi ṣe nǹkan tá a fẹ́ kàn fi ṣe ààrẹ náà nìyẹn o àwọn elite náà la jókòó yìí o so láàrin ara wa gan náà ó yẹ kí a máa wò tá a bá dé èmi bá ní èèyàn tó lóun mínísítà tó ń wà pálapàla adìjà láàrin wa o torí ó fẹ́ bàtí ajẹ́ nìyẹn so ẹjọ́ mo rò pé tíá nígbà tá a bá dì tá a bá tún kó ara wa jọ ní kéékèèké tọ̀rọ̀ ṣe é sọ torí eléyìí sọ̀rọ̀ orí afẹ́fẹ́ kì í sọ̀rọ̀ títí kìíní ọ̀rọ̀ inú ilé ni kí àwọn èèyàn wa tẹ máa jókòó àwọn ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n wa ní pòfẹ́sọ̀ tó pọ̀ wọ́n tẹ̀tẹ̀ rí gbogbo ayé kiri a ní oríṣiríṣi àwọn èèyàn tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ tó ń ṣe ṣọ́ọ̀bù tó ń ṣe gbá tó ń ṣàgbo ẹnjìníà tó ń ṣọ̀nà tó ń ṣe gbogbo ẹ̀ ìyá sì lè máa gbogbo àwọn ẹyẹ sì lè wà lẹ̀ kí ọmọ àjá kálá àwọn ọgbọ́n tá a máa dá ó yẹ ká wọ́gbọ́n tá a dá o lórí pé gbogbo ẹ̀kọ́ ni gbogbo aṣọ kọ́ ni wọ́n ń sá lóru ni wọ́n ń sá sí ìta lóru so ẹ jẹ́ ká fi sọ́kàn bọ̀tí inú mi dùn púpọ̀ fún ARG láti yálà Ìlọrin láti Kogi láti gbogbo bẹ̀rẹ̀ gbogbo aláwa bíi nǹkan pè Yorùbá nìyẹn o tá a bá dẹ̀ ń sọ̀rọ̀ láàrin ara wa a gbọ́dọ̀ gbàgbé o ó pẹ́ nìkan tí ò sí bí o tó máa wà bí ó ti darúgbó ìyá Ṣẹ̀kírì níjọ́ kìíní tá a bá ṣe mítìn tó ọba sí ń bẹ̀ ìjà yẹn ti pọ̀ jù so torí ẹ̀ ẹnìkan ti sáré rántí pé a ránṣẹ́ sí Wọ́rí o wọ́n máa bọ̀ o kò sí nǹkan tá a dẹ̀ ṣe kò ní sí ń bẹ̀ but ó dáa bẹ́ẹ̀ sí ó kóra jọ ẹ̀ mo mọ̀ pé nígbà tí ẹ bá ra gálọ̀nù epo kan tó lọ bí 3,000 ní ìsìn ó lè díẹ̀ o ṣùgbọ́n ẹja máa forí tì nù ẹ mọ̀ jẹ́ kó fi access àkìsẹ́ lẹ́sìn àgbọ̀rọ̀ yẹ kó fi access kò rí àfin débi pé kẹ̀kẹ́ máa wọ inú oko wa ẹ mọ̀ sí tó bá wà then àti ní gómìnà kan lọ́sùn rí ó ṣe nǹkan kan ó ní àwọn kan tó kó jọ ní gbogbo abúlé tí wọ́n ní fóònù tí wọ́n ní gbogbo ẹ̀ tí ẹnìkan bá ṣẹ̀ níbì kan tí nínú àdúgbò kan wọ́n mọ pé ẹ̀tẹ́ máa pè wọ́n dẹ̀ fi máa dé Òṣogbo tí Òṣogbo dẹ̀ fi mọ̀ pé àwọn ilé yìí ló máa jẹ́ wọ́n á dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé tán máa ṣe fún wọn gbogbo small thing bẹ́ẹ̀ pè náà ni wọ́n lè ṣe bọ̀tà ní ìdẹ o sójà kò lè dá nǹkan kan sí o ọlọ́pàá o kò lè dá nǹkan kan sí o àwọn èèyàn wa báyìí ni wọ́n lè dá nǹkan kan sí o ẹ dákun.
ẹ dákun ẹ bá mi pa àtẹ́wọ́ yẹn dáadáa ẹ bá mi pa àtẹ́wọ́ yẹn dáadáa fún bàbá wa ajagun fẹ̀yìntì General Alani Akínrínadé adúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín fún oríṣiríṣi àwọn òye tẹ́tí fi yé wa níbí ó dá mi lójú pé wọ́n tún ti là wá lọ́yẹ̀ àti mọ̀ bí tá a ti ń bọ̀ àti mọ̀ bí tá a dé báyìí ó sì ti dandan ká mọ̀ bí tí à ń lọ ọwọ́ tá a wà ní ìsìn á ṣe ìjíròrò tó yanrantí ìfikùnlukùn àti ìdánilẹ́kọ̀ọ́ lórí àwọn nǹkan tá a ti torí ẹ̀ jókòó síbi lónìí kí ìjì tó dé ṣíṣe òṣèlú lórí ààbò àti ààbò lórí òṣèlú ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please, you're going to permit me right now as I'm going to start inviting the panelists to the high table. Here I have a prominent man, a major contributor to the history of Nigeria. By the grace of God, is right here and is going to be one of the panelists. Please put your hands together as I invite to the high table here, Colonel Tony Iyan, retired. Please put your hands together for him. Put your hands together for him, please. Put your hands together very much for him, please. Thank you so much, Colonel. He's retired. Also, they are retired military men. We have them very viable, very vibrant, and still very, very strong. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, also we have, amongst the panelists that we're having today, please put your hands together as I invite to the high table, General Samson Odusi. Thank you very much, Daddy. Thank you so very much, sir. Ẹ dákẹ́ máa pàtẹ́ fún ọ dáadáa torí Ọlọ́run. Ẹni tí ọlá bá tọ́ sí ẹja àfọlá fún wọn. Ẹni tí bá tọ́ sí ẹja àfẹ̀yìn fún wọn. Ẹni tí ẹ̀yẹ bá tọ́ sí ẹja àfẹ̀ fún wọn. Adúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ bàbá wa General Samson Odusi, thank you for coming here. All right. Kì í ṣe pé a kàn ní wọn lọ́kùnrin bá a ṣe ní wọn lọ́kùnrin nílẹ̀ Yorùbá lórílẹ̀‐èdè Nàìjíríà bẹ́ẹ̀ náà la ní àwọn obìnrin takuntakun, the Amazons, we have them everywhere. Ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa ẹ dákun ẹ bá ń yẹ ìyá mi sí ìyá dáadáa arábìnrin Princess Fọláṣadé Ọlábánjí Ọba kí àwọn náà máa bọ̀ lókè bí. Obìnrin rere la wá, obìnrin rere la, àwa ọkùnrin rere la wá, àbí bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́ ọkùnrin rere la wá, à ń tọ́jú aya wa, à ń ṣèkẹ́ àwọn ọmọ wa. Ọkùnrin rere la wà. Ẹ̀gbọ́n mi ọ̀rọ̀ tó òwú mo kí i dáadáa sà. Tí n bá sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀yin lẹ kọ́ mi pé kí n máa sọ bẹ́ẹ̀. Àdúpẹ́. Báyìí á bẹ̀rẹ̀ ní pẹrẹu. Ní kété tí wọ́n bá ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní bá wa sọ̀rọ̀. Àǹfààní ta nínà ni pé ká tẹ́tí lẹ́kọ̀ọ́, ká farabalẹ̀, ká gbọ́ nǹkan tó fẹ́ bá wa sọ. Lórí ìjíròrò yìí ó ṣe pàtàkì. Dádì ní sọ kankan lẹ́ẹ̀kan, àwọn kan wà tó jẹ́ pé à á sọ ní gbàgede, àwọn míì sì wà tó jẹ́ pé à á sọ nígbà tí àwọn àgbààgbà bá jókòó, nítorí pé ìlọsíwájú ààbò wa ó ṣe pàtàkì. Ààbò yìí kì í ṣiṣẹ́ fún àwọn oníṣẹ́ ológun nìkan àbí àwọn tó ń wọ yúnífọ̀mù, gbogbo wa pátápátá la ní ojúṣe pàtàkì tí a gbọ́dọ̀ kó tí a bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ ààbò níbikíbi. Ẹ ṣé gidi gan ni. Yes, mo kí bàbá wa Chief Tokunbo Ajásin, wọ́n wà bí ẹ dákun bá ń pa àtẹ fún bàbá wa kẹ́ bá ń pọ́n wọlé dáadáa. Chief Tokunbo Ajásin, thank you so very very much. Ẹ ṣé bàbá wa, a dúpẹ́ pọ̀ ní ọwọ́ yìí. Right now, màá gbé kí ni sọ̀rọ̀sọ̀rọ̀ yìí sí ọwọ́ àwọn bàbá tí a ti pè wọlé nísìn láti bẹ̀rẹ̀. Thank you very much. Okay, I think let me extend this mic to Colonel. We are starting from Colonel. Thank you, Colonel. Baba Sokora.
Mo kí yín o, adúpẹ́ fún Ẹlẹ́dùmarè. The general brought me here because people forget that General Kirinade was one of the main financiers of Kensarawa. When Kensarawa, when he started his struggle, and this is Ken who told me this, it was General Kirinade who was funding him. So in many respects, Yorubas have always been pace-setters. And in fact, we have a senior man here that I'm very friendly with, Alhaji Afolabi Salami. I've always told him that Yorubas have always set the pace. And Awolowo was my hero. He's one of the two pictures you have in my house. Is Awolowo and Shoyinka. And I've been a student of Awolowo from time because of the depth of his knowledge and the leadership he showed in practice. He built one of the best regions in Africa. Awo built a TV station even before Germany had his. So I learned that. And when I went to the UK, I found out that even the Nigerian house was formerly Western house. So this is the pace. On the topic that we are, first, this West, Southwest, is a first sitter. There are two institutions that simplify what I'm going to say. There is already a state police in waiting in Lagos. And what is that? The Lagos State Neighborhood Safety Corps is so well organized, is trained, and is ready to become state police immediately the go is given. The other institution is the one I give credit to the late Akeredolu, Amateku. All we ask for in the window of opportunity we have now is that Amateku should be given constitutional right to carry military-grade weapons. Once, I'm not saying it only for the Southwest, the same should be given to other regions. And we pray that with a progressive in office, as President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has been, and the courage he has, the first man to start this state police. I have been quiet all these years, but the moment I saw that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is serious about state police, it woke me up, because if we have, no matter the restructuring, if it's not anchored on an appropriate national security architecture, anybody can come and wipe it away. The example is Ethiopia. Ethiopia had the best constitution for federalism. They had a clause for any region that can succeed. But when a region tried it, they ran after the region because there was not an appropriate security architecture as a foundation. We have a situation where we are, by the grace of God, we're going to have state police. But alongside, we pray that Amateku and the likes, or if you like, call it the forest guards, they should be armed and they should be indigenous. Everywhere else, where people are not a colony, where people are a country where people are free, the police is indigenous to that area. There's nothing like UK police. There's nothing like Indian police. There's nothing like American police. Why? How did we come by to have Nigerian police force? That name in itself suggests colonialism. So, police is local. In Germany, all the policing is local. Crimes are local. So, we thank Ashwadi to have given us that interest. Now, we need also that Southwest should be able to have its own homeland security forces as it is everywhere else. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Okay, right away now I'm going to move to our mommy. Probably you have one or two things to say. Eshima.
Hello. Okay. Mo kí gbogbo àwọn bàbá wa starting from Oriade, mo kí yín tọ̀wọ̀tọ̀wọ̀, and our great leaders that are hereby seated, General Alani Akinrade, Ojoyin Atubope, you are such a treasure to Homeland. Our chairman, Tiwale Osho, great leaders. I know that protocol has been established, so please
with due respect, let me stand on that. But on that note, I celebrate great people seated here who have labored for the peace that we have, relatively for now, because I know it hasn't come cheap. We're not where we need to be, but we're not where we used to be either. Talking about politics, that word has been so demonized, and security and politics should not be something that we should play with, because we're talking about lives and property. I want to celebrate the great leadership that we have in Nigeria today, His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who has stood tall on a lot of all the challenges that we have. And one of them is what we're talking about now. True federalism starts the centralization of power to the different regions. And one that initially wasn't so popular was the state policing. And I thank God today, the dialogues are there, the narratives are changing, and we all know that it is very important. It has to be a collaborative effort to truly making that entity called Nigeria great. But today, this morning, we're talking about Southwest. And no part of Nigeria is an island when you talk about security, because it's all interdependent on one another. And for people like us, I say that we are all raised for such a time as this. People here are supposed to be celebrated. I could mention names and given them so much work that they've put in. For some of us to have been interested in AFENEFERE, people will be like, why? But it's a child of necessity. And it is very important that it is reignited. I celebrate the Ogun State chapter this morning for waking up that giant in Ozo and knowing that it is very, very important that we speak up, not just being a time bomb or whatever, like Nigeria sitting on a keg of gunpowder. What are we doing to make sure that we are prepared? Because it is very important. My Yoruba might not be so perfect, but I am very much Yoruba, and it is very much very, very important that we up that skill, we up, the voice, the tone, and let it be like, yes, let it start from us. We're born leaders, born nurturers, especially the western part of this country. I am proudly Yoruba anywhere, and because of that, we are raised to be setters, to take charge. And I want to plead, even when it is not so, I know some things that policy-wise and all that, people have been like, wow, our president is so bold, taking things. But we're starting to see the results. And collectively, I think we all need to imbibe that attitude and be very, very optimistic at what we've got. What we've got is good, and it's worth celebrating. Because if you don't bless where you are, you cannot be blessed by it. We all owe it to this country, owe it to Yoruba land, to be the best, be all that we can be, and God bless us all. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. First, I'm going to Baba General Kenya. Let me digress a little bit. Baba Nile, Baba Loko, Baba Ni Bobo.
igi lẹ́yìn ọgbà èyí tí a lè fẹ̀yìntì tá a dẹ̀ ní ṣubú. Bóyá èyí tó ń ṣe nínú ìgbà tó wà ní iṣẹ́ ológun ni o àbí ìtàn sì tún ń ṣe nísìnyí, Ọlọ́run á máa wà pẹ̀lú wọn. Mo rántí ń gbà yẹn ìgbà tán bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní sọ̀rọ̀ nípa kémi tẹ̀ tó mọ̀ mo bá ìkan láwọn tó ń jọ jagun bóyá jẹ́ pé iléèwé làwà wà ń gbà yẹn tó sọ̀rọ̀ wájú ọ̀gá mi ní Benue. I'm talking of late Colonel MPS Adamu. Ó sọ̀rọ̀ nípa wọn gan kó mọ̀ akọ̀sọ̀rọ̀ débẹ̀ ṣáà ni. Ìgbà tó àwọn èèyàn tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní sọ̀rọ̀ tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ogun abẹ́lé, ogun Nàìjíríà, oríṣiríṣi la kiri ń gbọ́. Mo rántí ibi kan tèmi ti ṣiṣẹ́ ní Jájì tí wọ́n ní ká sọ sítórì ogun abẹ́lé. Iṣẹ́ pọ̀ fún àwọn tíṣà yìí, wọ́n ṣàyà gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe. Àwa ṣe what we call brainstorming ní section tèmi, we join all of them. Wọ́n ṣàní ká gbé síwájú ọ̀gá wa pé kò ní gbà á. Ṣùgbọ́n ìgbà tó máa dé ṣe ló gbà á tó ní ìgbà tó bá máa sọ̀rọ̀ yẹn kọ́ òun gbọ́dọ̀ wà ń bẹ̀. Àwọn gbàdéjọ́ wà ń bẹ̀ sọ pé Samson mo fi mọ story ẹ̀ pé ìwọ ló mọ nítorí lọ́bẹ̀ tó fi ìwọ ni kò. À ń gbà kò sí kankan nípa, we couldn't say much about the war. And after that, a lot of people were just saying all sorts of things. Some were not correct, some were correct, but because we're in a place where people are not doing a thing, a little effort will be orchestrated. But I remember very vividly the General Gowan, former head of state, also, I think he was in the airport, only. Wọ́n ní wọ́n máa ń sọ oríṣiríṣi nípa kí ni ewo lẹ́mọ̀ ní ewo ní òótọ́nú kí ni ẹ̀ ló ní ohunkóhun tí èmi tó gbé orúkọ wọn General Olúlẹ̀yẹ ó kàn ní James bá ti sọ ń kọ́ òun ní òtítọ́ ọbẹ̀ torí nígbà yẹn irú àwọn ọ́fíìsì tàtẹ̀wá ní nísìnyí tó fẹ́ẹ̀ tó 30 James Olúlẹ̀yẹ ló wà in charge. He was the G1, a Yoruba man, and he actually really worked on the war. He was the one handling, and he particularly spoke at a particular time about the war. You know, we did our war very, we could call it a crude war, but it has become part of our history. Many things, many training, many understandings were not there then. Say, but all these people did them perfectly that in today's grading is first class. Again, sir, the first landing ship to land was in Bonny, and the first air to land was done by Baba. He led the troop at that time. And without the success then, we couldn't have. Baba, Ọlọ́run á rẹ̀ mí fún yín o. Enough of that logizing of Baba. He deserves it. It can never be too much. Now, in Taiwan, so a máa ń sọ nǹkan kan gbà kan kírakíri àmọ́ tó mọ gbogbo nǹkan tá à ń sọ gbà ogun débòde àtìrò mẹ́sẹ̀ ó le. Before the storm arrives, is the storm not already here? I mean, because when we say that, we are again covering, we are trying to cover up things. The storm, let's say, the storm is already here. Bí wọ́n ti ṣe báwọn tòjọ́ ajú ṣe sọ, gbogbo aṣọ pálá ń sá lóòrùn. That is how they saw in this forum. And this is why I'm going to implore the ARG to go a step further, to organize a forum where nto yẹ ká sọ, ta lè sọ, à lè sọ. Tó bá yẹ pé òtítọ́ we are trying to fight for our security. Let's organize another retreat or so that I have been in ALG for quite some time. There are some things that are manifesting now. That even these criminals, to use the word of the DG, Don, can now come from Kwara into this area. I want to do Oyo now. Oyo National Park is almost opposite my unit when I was an officer in Oyo. It's not far from there. I mean, everywhere. And of course, there are 56 centers. I mean, 53, sorry. Center. In fact, OWB3 is very common. Long before then, there are 123 centers all over. Even in Dreaded Forest. OGUN ti dé o. Ohun tí mo dẹ̀ fẹ́ ká gbọ́dọ̀ kóra wa ní ìjánu. If we say káwá pé mi mọ̀ bí máa ṣe sọ ní Yorùbá. But if we say the most endangered species in Nigeria today are the Yorubas. Bàbá Dígbàgádé a máa bára wa sọ̀rọ̀. But go home, each and every one of you here, to have that at the back of my mind. This is no longer the sleeping time. It's no longer the sleeping time. Good. I appreciate Ogbeni, the governor of late governor of Ondo State, Akeredolu. I remember when this thing was very hot, when he said, "Look, laws are not made in the office of the AGF," and he went to Abuja. That the activities, whatever discussions he did there, he was a learner now. Gave back to an Amotekun. Amotekun is one outfit in the right place. But we don't have to wait for government to. Everybody say, "Oh, government, thank God." DG said, "One share, in fact, our governors were security meeting." What did I do? I called you, DG, to congratulate you. I know the hands that was behind that. I'm sorry. He has some interview to give the next time. We can do many more, but we don't have to leave it to DG Don. We don't have to leave it to governors. We don't have to leave it to the police. We don't have to leave it to the soldiers. Each and every one of us, because we are all affected. We are here and our children, only God knows where, people just woke up one day and they whisked out about 200 and something, Chibok, then, children. And it still continues up to now. It is a battle for which every one of us must. Dúró sórí ilé, gbọ́dọ̀ fi iná sórí ilé lọ́sùn, ogun ti débodè. Ọlọ́run á dẹ̀ fún wa ṣe. There is always a saying pé wọn kì í kó wa mẹ́rú, ogun kì í kó wa mẹ́rú. Àwọn àgbàlagbà wọn tí mò ń sọ. Àná kó ogun má bàa kó wa mẹ́rú. Every hands must be on deck. And you don't have to, whatever you can do at your own level, in your own street, whatever information, not wrong ones that will mislead people, that can be of help to another person, to the government as well, let us do it. The storm is already here. That we must establish. Thank you very much.
Ẹ bá mi kọ́ àtọwọ́ tó rèé dáadáa fún àwọn bàbá wa àti màmá wa tó ń wà ń bẹ̀ yẹn. Wọ́n ti sọ̀rọ̀ tó rinlẹ̀ dáadáa. Àfi ká mọ rírì wọn ká sì bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní jíròrò báyìí. Kó tó di pé a tẹ̀síwájú àwa sí àárín wa ń bí. Màá fẹ́ lọ sọ́dọ̀ àwọn bàbá wa tí wọ́n wà lókè ń bí láti ọ̀dọ̀ DJ Ṣẹ̀yẹ Oyèlẹ́yẹ. Bóyá wọ́n rí nǹkan kan sọ sí nǹkan tí àwọn bàbá wa àti màmá wa tí wọ́n sọ ń bẹ̀ yẹn. Okay, you have the mic there.
Ẹ ṣé púpọ̀. Nǹkan tí màá kàn fẹ́ sọ fún wa ni pé tó bá ti di ọ̀rọ̀ security nílẹ̀ Yorùbá a mọ̀ pé lọ́dọ̀ wa bí púpọ̀ ní wa máa sọ pé àwọn gómìnà wa àwọn ìjọba wa ṣùgbọ́n ní díẹ̀ dáwà náà lè ṣe ní àdúgbò wa ṣe rí ní ọ̀dọ̀ àwọn èèyàn wa náà ní South East even àwọn olówó àárín wọn sìn wọ́n ti ń gbárùkù ti ìjọba lọ́dọ̀ wọn ẹ rí i pé láìpẹ́ ìjọba aṣáájú Bọ́lá Ahmed Tinubu ó dá àwọn nǹkan tá a pè ní commission sílẹ̀ South West Commission South East Commission káàkiri gbogbo geopolitical zones náà ti dálẹ̀ nítọ̀dọ̀ wa bí mo lè sọ níbi àárín ara wa láwà àyè dúró dìgbà tí ìjọba bá fún wọn lówó bóyá owó tíjọba máa fún wọn dà kán lè fi bẹ̀rẹ̀ iṣẹ́ gidi meanwhile ní South East àwọn olówó àárín wọn ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí gbówó sílẹ̀ nǹkan mọ̀ tó àti sọ ni pé wọ́n rí i pé ọ̀rọ̀ South East ó jẹ wọ́n lógún wọ́n dẹ̀ ń dá sí ní Yorùbá land ẹ má jẹ́ ká sọ pé kí làwọn gọ́vnà wa ń ṣe kí làwọn gọ́vnà wa ń ṣe nìkan wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ ṣojúṣe wọn ẹ jẹ́ ká gbọ́ra wáyé ṣùgbọ́n àwa tá a lẹ́nu mẹ́ tọ́lọ̀ ń fún wa ní integrity àti lè sọ̀rọ̀ a gbọ́dọ̀ sọ̀rọ̀ àwọn tọ́lọ̀ ń fún ní that a bit of finance láti lè kó àwọn èèyàn jọ bóyá ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá lélẹ̀ ẹ jẹ́ ká dá sí at the moment problem tá a ní ni pé ó dàbí pé tó bá ti òun la kọ́ra Johnson àwáyé àròjì àwọn ṣẹ́bà àti ẹ̀ ń sọ̀rọ̀ ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn tó lówó láàrin wa a fẹ́ dá sí ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá mọ́ àti rò pé wà ṣé bí bámúbámú ni mo yó mi ò mọ̀ tí bí bá ń pa ẹlẹ́mọ̀ ẹlòmíì o kò dẹ̀ help wa because ó tún wá di pé ìjọba náà ti ní pé wẹ́ àwọn nìkan náà ni tẹ́ àwọn nìkan náà wò fine nǹkan tí mò ń dúró àti sọ ni pé àwa náà ní ojúṣe láti ṣe tó wà tó dẹ̀ ìwà very important ṣe nígbà tá a bá ṣojúṣe yẹn gan bóyá àwa náà as I said mo torí iṣẹ́ tá à ń ṣe à ń wo nǹkan táwọn South East ń ṣe táwọn náà bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ń ṣe irú ẹ̀ ìyẹn gan à lè hold àwọn governors wa accountable mo kàn ṣe example ni o mo kàn mú figure ni a fẹ́ dá 1 billion láti ṣe security bóyá àwọn olówó gan ti jókòó wọ́n ti kóra wọn jẹ wọ́n ti dá 300 lára ẹ̀ wá lè sọ fún ìjọba pé kí lẹ́yìn ṣe a ti dá 300 lára 1 billion tá a wá ilẹ̀ what have you done bọ́pọ̀ táwọn gan bá rí pé akọ̀ ń sọ̀rọ̀ ní ṣe kankan ẹ máa ní sùúrù rẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ náà rí bó ṣe rí the other regions wọ́n rally round ara wọn so láàrin ara wa Yorùbá land we must do more than just congregating like this applying pressure yes but let us be more active kó má kọ́ di pé ìjọba nìkan la rò pé tó bá ti ṣe gbogbo àwọn òṣèwé èmi wà ókè ń tèmi tó bá sú mi màá lọ Canada tó bá sú mi màá lọ jókòó sí London kò rí bẹ́ẹ̀ Yorùbá land lélẹ̀ àwọn bàbá wa àtàwọn grandfathers wa táwọn bá rò bẹ́ẹ̀ kò ní sí Yorùbá land léde mo máa ń sọ fáwọn èèyàn pé ní táìmù àwọn Awólọ́wọ̀ àwọn èèyàn gbárùkù tí kò ní Awólọ́wọ̀ nìkan àwọn èèyàn surround ẹ̀ wọ́n support ẹ̀ òun ni gbogbo nǹkan tá a rí lè ṣe ṣe at least akúkà ní ìwé ìtàn a máa ń lọ sí archives ní Ìbàdàn mẹ́ẹ̀ a máa rí oríṣi nǹkan táwọn èèyàn ṣe just to make this work ìgbà tó fẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ free education àwọn míì gbé ilé wọn sílẹ̀ pé kàn fi ṣe school mo kàn ṣe example yẹn it shows that wọ́n take interest nínú ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá land ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ má kàn jẹ́ ká sọ pé iṣẹ́ government nìkan government ní majority of the work but that little táwa gbọ́dọ̀ máa ṣe ẹ má jẹ́ ká sáfà ẹ ṣé gan.
Thank you very much, sir. Eshe Goni. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I need to quickly recognize the presence of the officers of the DSS. Thank you. You have been here since. Thank you so much. God bless you. Okay, nísìnyí afẹ́wá sí apá ọ̀dọ̀ wa ń bí bóyá a ní ìkọ̀kan bíi méjì mẹ́ta tá a fẹ́ ṣe ká fẹ́ sọ àti pé gbogbo nǹkan tá a bá máa sọ bí ká ṣe ní pápápá torí pé a ti sọ pé when it is exactly 2:30 a gbọ́dọ̀ kúrò níbi tí a wà yìí. And once again I need to remind you that the Eagle 7 Sport Radio 103.7 FM wọ́n wà níbí tí wọ́n ti ń bá wa gbé káàkiri gbogbo ọmọ tó ń ṣe bí wọ́n wò láti orí social media. So we need to say a very big thank you to Eagle 7 Sport Radio 103.7. Thank you. Now ẹ jẹ́ kí n lọ sí a máa mú un ní kọ̀ọ̀kan bí ró ṣe wà níbí. Mo ti rí commander FSC lọ́ọ̀kan sọ́dọ̀ yìí.
Mo kí gbogbo ìjókòó kọ́ mi ní architect Ayọ̀túndé Ọ̀ṣunlóye. Mo fẹ́ fi àkókò yìí gbé sí orí afẹ́fẹ́ láti rọ àwọn bàbá wa ti àwọn màmá wa tó jẹ́ ẹ̀sìn mùsùlùmí kí wọ́n àpéjọpọ̀ ti sọ pé mùsùlùmí Yorùbá kò fọwọ́ sí gbogbo nǹkan tó ń lọ wípé kì í ṣe ẹ̀sìn mùsùlùmí ní jàgídíjàgan tí wọ́n ń ṣe tí gbogbo Yorùbá tá bá lè pẹnu pọ̀ tá a sọ orú ọ̀rọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ síta lọ́rọ̀ gbogbo àwọn tó ń rò pé àwọn ń bọ̀ wá ran mùsùlùmí lọ́wọ́ nílẹ̀ Yorùbá wọ́n á mọ̀ pé iṣẹ́ ara wọn làwọn ń ṣe. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ibi tá a bá ti rí àyè láti máa sọ̀rọ̀ yìí ẹ jẹ́ ká máa bá wọn sọ títí á fi di nǹkan tí gbogbo wa ń sọ láàrin ilé wípé ẹ báwọn èèyàn yín sọ̀rọ̀ wọn ò jà fún yín ara wọn náà ń jà fún. Ẹ ṣé púpọ̀.
Ẹ dákẹ́ bá mi pàtẹ́ fún bàbá Command FRSC wọ́n ti nù láti àárọ̀. Yes, Commander FRSC Akiwumi Fashaki.
Our elders, my name is Akiwumi Fashaki. Sorry my gbàmílà láti sọ àwọn òyìnbó díẹ̀díẹ̀. Gbà tí mo gba invitation to attend this program, I said, well, it's high time for me to have interest in the happenings in Yoruba land. Because I think I'm of age, I'm 58 now. But I want to start with what from the general. He made mention of before the storm arrives, that the storm is already here. I agree with you, General sir. The storm is at Kuto, under the bridge. We are looking at this issue of security from one perspective. General, sir, I will have to see you one on one, sir. We are looking at this issue of security from one aspect. That is my own observation. External invasion. What about internal problem that you are having now? Our youth, the restlessness of our youth, the willing tools to be used. The Yorubas, àwọn ọ̀nà sọ pé bí ikú ilé ò bá pa ni, tòde ò lè pa ni, àti ògiri ò bá lanu, aláǹgbá ò lè wọbẹ̀. The security situation we are having in the Southwest now is a complex one. And is being ignited or ignites with our residents. If you come to Kuto by 7 o'clock, 7 p.m., you see the youth there. Hardly you will find a labor, people that carry I'm from Malaysia, sorry. It is very difficult to get people, all these artisans. Our youth have turned to Okada riders. That was even better. At least it's a source of employment. But now they've abandoned it. If you take statistics of people under the bridge riding Okada, 70% are from the north. 80 are from the north. Or don't let me say from the north, some might even say from Nigeria. So how do we get here? I think the DG said something about our values. We've lost our values in Yoruba land because of the so-called civilization, all the agents of socialization, the church, the family, the school, they are all in shambles. And the way we were trained in the Yoruba land, our fathers, we see them as very strict. You know the time your father is coming, you hold the TV. You hold the TV. My parents were teachers, you hold the TV. But now, a child will wake up in the morning, cannot prostrate for his father. He said, "Good morning, Daddy," and the father will not pat his eyes instead of prostrating. So I think we have to look at our agent of socialization in Yoruba land to take off our internal crisis before the external forces comes in and take advantage of these people, of these willing to thank you, sir. That's just my
Thank you very much, Architect George Akinola George. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Mo kí gbogbo ilé, orúkọ tèmi ni George Ọpẹ́olúwa Akínọlá. Mo kí bàbá wa General Alani Akínrìnàdé, mo dẹ̀ kí our chairman Chief Wale Ọ̀ṣun àti gbogbo àwọn lọ́balọ́ba tó wà níbí àti ìwà tó wà níbí. Tí Olúwa bá ti ọ̀tá ni kò lè pani mọ́. Ẹ má yẹ ká sọ pé àmọ́ ibi tí ọ̀tá ti ń bọ̀ àmọ́ ìjà yóò dẹ̀ kí í ṣèjà èyí. Ọ̀rọ̀ yìí ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti 1804. Wọ́n wọ ọ̀dọ̀ wa ní 1823. Wọ́n bá wa jà ogun Ìlọrin. Wọ́n bá wa jà ogun Òṣogbo 1840. Ogun Ògbómọ̀ṣọ́ 1844. Ogun Alimi 1878. Adẹ̀yìn fọ̀pọ̀ pápọ̀lọpọ̀lọ péjò. Ó yẹ ká sọ òótọ́ yìí, pápá ni máa ń họ ìfọn bí òṣòmi aṣẹ̀jẹ̀. Fúlàní lọ̀tá wa. Ẹ̀mí sọ́ńbì báyìí. Wọ́n sọ pé ká máa lọ ẹ̀jẹ̀ ká sọ lábẹ́ àwọn ká ṣe kíní. We must call a spade. We must address the problem. Nílẹ̀ Yorùbá, we have Yorùbá in 10 states of federation. 10 states. Yorùbá has 160 local governments. We have 1,885 wards, Nigeria. And there are 2,779 Yoruba towns and villages. I'm giving you these statistics to tell you that we should be able to address our problems squarely. Yoruba, we have Nigeria on our necks as our albatross. We shouldn't be in Nigeria. Nigeria is our problem. If Yoruba gets out of Nigeria today, I can tell you in the next 5 years, we will lead Africa. In the next 10 years, we'll be one of the 5 most powerful countries in the world. Yoruba land is bigger than United Kingdom. Our population is almost at par. We are in we are in 18 countries in the world where we are indigenous. Yorubas are in 18 countries in the world where we are indigenous, where we are not Nigerians. In the Caribbean and in the North of America and in the South of America, we have Nigerians that are, we have Yoruba that are totally indigenous to those countries. So we should be talking about the commonwealth of Yoruba nation. Kì í ṣe pé ká jókòó ká máa sọ pé kíní kan àwọn ọkọ̀ tó ṣe wá. Àwọn tó ń dà wá láàmú yìí, we must be ready to confront them, and security is in the grassroots. Security is in the grassroots, is local. So every community tí mo dárúkọ tí mo ti kà lẹ́yìn, we must organize our youth along those communities in a security architecture that will be able to take care of these people. Wọ́n tó wá mú. Ṣùgbọ́n tá a bá ń pa pé àìtàn ìṣe báyìí, ní débi kankan. There was a time I went to General Akérèdé. I was in your house, sir. I'm sure you remember. I spent 2 hours with you discussing these things with you. Èmi àti yín nìkan la wà mẹ́. So we see we cannot afford to continue to romance the problem. We should go back home, gather our loins, confront these people, enter the bushes, the cities, clear them wherever they are, clear them. Atobe Adubelo, Eje.
Architect Akinola, thank you very much, sir. Okay, Daddy, 2 minutes, sir. 2 minutes. Yes, sir. What should you say?
I stand on the existing protocol. My names are Adewale Adetoro. It's okay. Adewale Adetoro. Now, I'm so happy that at last I've been thinking that is it only me that is seeing this problem that is coming? But when I saw this notice today, I was so elated that so people are thinking about the security of this evasion that is facing us. That this is a big challenge. Now, I want to please ask from the audience, is there any one of us that has sold scrap in the last, let's say 2 years to this time? Scraps. Can I say anyone? Scraps. I don't think we can see scraps. Iron, this and that you sold in the past 2-3 years. Scavengers, okay. Now, when I started seeing these people from the north, early in the morning you see 3, 4, 5. I was concerned. And I picked up my pen. I wrote a letter to the governor of Lagos State that I want to have a meeting with him on the security of Lagos State. Go to go to Ikoyi, go to Obalende, go to Oworishoki, go to Rodu, go to Ibafo, Monwe. These people are everywhere. Before you see one Nigerian, you see 5 of them before you see one Southerner. So I now wonder. I wrote a letter to him that I want to have a meeting with him. I personally submitted it to his office, and it was acknowledged. I have my copy. But if anything will come today, and I was so lucky one day he came on Journalist Hangout, expanded this in the time of Christmas, and phone program, and I got it. I said I wrote a letter to the office on the security of Lagos State. To date, I've not seen any response. Here we are. Now I said, how can we leave Lagos so loose? There's no checkpoint. Go to Kara at around 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m. and see the influx of people. They come in trailers in their thousands. These people will come in trailers between a month or 2. You see Keke, Napep. How many of our youth here can buy 4,500 naira Keke now? You see Bajaj motorcycle is 1.5 million naira, 1.2 million. You see within the month of getting here, you see them, who are people buying this thing for them? There was a day at, what's it called? Esperance, I was going to Okera. I took bike. One of them, the bike that carried me, saw a group of their people sitting somewhere. As I think the guy is popular. They call his name. He says, so. He now did hand like this. He did like this. He did like this. Said, are you planning something? I said, look, you will be disgraced. I know you may be planning to evade, but God, there's no power after God. God is, even if there's any power at all, is God. You'll be crushed. So these people have their mission. Let us, we are so short of time. Please, I want to plead that we just have to take steps to do this. And on checking this insecurity, I want to appeal to our governors. There was people that was captured. They need to buy helicopters. It's too much for each state governor to buy 3 helicopters. Immediately there's any emergency of kidnapping, you all go there, bombard the place. There was those kidnapped that said when helicopter was swooping on this thing, they thought they are seeing them. Their captor left them, and they were freed. Thank you.
Mo fún yín ní ìṣẹ́jú méjì ẹ lò 20 minutes. Bàlá sọ́dọ̀ bàbá mi tó kú bọ̀ ajá sí ní ọjọ́ lórúkọ sá.
Well, let me start on the existing protocols. But I think, from my own point of view, what we are discussing, we can summarize it into to have always wanted in AFENEFERE, that is restructuring. I mean, it's so important to us, and I think by the time you have restructuring, the state police is an integral part of restructuring. So it seems we are way tired of that, and then I look at the situation we have now. That is from our area. And I think if it doesn't do restructuring, then we are in trouble. Because we've had 1 or 2 chances to do it. When President Obasanjo, when Jonathan was there, I think he went to see Jonathan about it, and Jonathan promised that it was even more beneficial to them to do restructuring. But he didn't do anything. Now we have, so to speak, there. And if it doesn't do it, we're into more trouble. So I look at it as that is the beginning of what, it's like, it's the main thing that we should pursue. By the time we pursue it, all other things will fall into place. Police, restructuring involves police to be under restructuring. They come on. So when the state, when the police is under the regions, because we were said before that in AFENEFERE we said regional autonomy or nothing. So why don't you follow that? So when the police is under us, then we know what to do. So it's not the federal agents that we want. No. We want police local to our area. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Chief Tokubo. Thank you. All right.
Sir, my name is Bumi Akambi Awotiku from Ekiti. Bumi Akambi Awotiku from Ekiti. Yes, thank you, sir. Sàmúlò pé yẹ ká béèrè lọ́wọ́ wa pé àwọn ògúnmọ́lá, àwọn sódẹ́kẹ́, àwọn ìgbàgbọ́dà. Mo rò pé a nílò àwọn ọ̀gbẹ́ni nílẹ̀ Yorùbá kì í ṣe ọ̀rọ̀ state police nìkan. Kò fẹ́ mú wa gẹ́gẹ́ bí àpẹẹrẹ. Wọ́n kọlu ìlú kan wọ́n pè ìlú yẹn ní Ìjàrẹ́. Àwọn Ìjàrẹ́ dá wọn lóhùn láàrin wákàtí méjì. Òjò òṣù ṣùgbọ́n àrá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí sán, àwọn màálù dẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí kú. Under 30 minutes, vacate ibẹ̀ yẹn wọn ò padà wá síbẹ̀ mọ́. Níbo ni wọ́n gbé àwọn àṣà yìí sí? Èmi rò pé wọ́n ti fi ẹ̀sìn Kìrìsìtẹ́nì àti ẹ̀sìn Mùsùlùmí wọ́n ti fi kọ́ láyà jẹ. Débi pé àwọn èèyàn wa, àwọn kan tó jẹ́ nǹkan ìbílẹ̀ wọn ò ṣe mọ́. Ẹ ká gbàgbé sà, ọba kan ní àdúgbò wa pẹ̀lú àwọn ọba méjì míì wọ́n jẹ́ mẹ́ta àwọn agbénipa ipa méjì nínú wọn ṣùgbọ́n ìkan wà ńbẹ̀ ó dúró gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọkùnrin kò sá Yorùbá ni ọba mélòó ló lè ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ nílẹ̀ Yorùbá lẹ́nu a máa ń wọnú ààfin ọba ò lẹ́rù mọ́ lára torí pé ìpilẹ̀ṣẹ̀ tá a fi ń jẹ ọba a fi jẹ́ mọ́ àti wá gbé ẹ̀sìn kìrìsìtẹ́nì àti mùsùlùmí òun la gbé dání so tó bá ń bù wọ́n tó bá ń rẹwà lọ́rùn àwa la fà á o ẹ ṣe.
Thank you very much. I have my uncle here who has always been there. Please forgive me.
My name is Oladapo Abiola. I'm speaking as a young Yoruba boy because mo rí pé àwọn àgbàlagbà ló ti ń sọ̀rọ̀. So, àwọn ọkọ̀ àtẹ̀mí notice when the federal government said people should come and join the police, Yoruba youth did not apply. When they say come and join the army, Yoruba youth did not apply. Mo dẹ̀ gbọ́ pé wọ́n ní a ní problem ní abẹ́ page kútọ̀. Àwọn Yoruba youth náà ló wà ń bẹ̀ náà. Ṣé iṣẹ́ ọ̀kadà la fẹ́ máa ṣe ni? Àbí kí àgbèrò? In the olden days, bẹ́ẹ̀ mi ṣe dàgbà, I know that we used to have mentors. Àwọn àgbàlagbà tó wà respected máa mú yàn kan sí abẹ́ tó máa tọ́ sọ́nà. Àwọn ẹ̀ náà ló di àwọn bàbá tó jókòó báyìí lé ní. Do we have people tó mú young people as mentees tó ní bó ṣe máa lọ lẹ́yìn bó ṣe máa lọ nìyẹn? Ìbí báyìí bọ́yìn máa ń dọ̀bálẹ̀ mi bọ́yìn máa ń bá àgbàlagbà sọ̀rọ̀. Ní ìsìn tó máa tábà sọ̀rọ̀ máa lanú ẹni àwọn àgbàlagbà. A máa sọ̀rọ̀ sàgbàlagbà bíi pé ní òbí ń lé. That is the major problem that we have for Yoruba youth, and we will need to address that. If we do not, we will have a problem in addressing our security challenges because àwọn ọ̀dà fẹ́ gbà sí inú police wa ṣé àwọn tí àdè bá sọ̀rọ̀ yìí náà ọ̀dà fẹ́ gbé bọ̀n AK-47 lọ wọ́n á bẹ̀ sí terrorize one day. Thank you very much.
We promise to leave this break at exactly 2:30 and this is 2:10. All right, sir. Okay.
Mo kí gbogbo ilé mo stand lórí bàṣẹ ṣètò bọ̀ orúkọ mi ni aichi Ayọ̀ Abíọ́lá Adélẹ́ọba Abájọba àbúrò mo tún jẹ́ akọ̀wé gbogbo Yorùbá Kogi gbàgàdì pọ́lẹ́tà wa ní lọ́dọ̀ wa ọkọ̀lọpẹ́ lọ́lọ́ pé kò tó àtàṣe àpérò tí ẹ̀ ń pe Yorùbá Kogi àkọ́là wa ó dẹ̀ mú wa lọ. Ní 2017 gómìnà wa ó sọ pé ibi kíkí láti lé àwọn bòóró ní òkè ọ̀yà káwọn àbọ̀ ní Kogi gbàyànjẹ́ mo jẹ́ akọ̀wé gbogbo Yorùbá kọ́lẹ́tà pé ó ní ẹ̀tọ́ àti pé káwọn àbọ̀ ní Kogi kí ni ìdí tí àwọn bòóró Kogi wọn ní lọ sílẹ̀ ìgbìlẹ̀gbìrà bíkọ́ ìdìgbẹ̀ òkúta ní ilẹ̀ wa Yorùbá máa wá àtìlẹyìn àwọn gárà tútù wọ̀tí wà láàdé ó dẹ̀ gbàtà gbogbo wọn àtàkì Benue wọn wọ́n dẹ̀ pé kò àbílífẹ̀ bọ̀ ó ti yá dísọ́lọ́ wà lẹ́sìn kankan dé so nǹkan tó ẹ̀jẹ̀ mi rí bẹ́ẹ̀ ni pé ó dùn wá pé awò ṣe south west because ní gómìnà tí a lè bá sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀tẹ̀ ní pẹ́pẹ́ ẹ̀tẹ̀ ní gómìnà tí a lè bá sọ̀rọ̀ tó díjọ àti sọ pé àwọn gómìnà wọn gbìyànjú èmi bá sọ pé mi mọ ṣé wọn like jọ̀sí kò kà pé ẹ̀bùn ṣe gọ̀mẹ̀ wọn ní dóòlù ṣé àwọn àwa títí wa ọ̀rọ̀ náà ní ṣé owó ní ọ̀nà náà fi ní ni àbí wọ́n ní àbí wọ́n ṣiṣẹ́ because mo pé kí ni we go a long way me I'm not in ministry but mo pé lóò yẹn kì í ṣe nǹkan tí ọgọ́ gómìnà kan kò kakọ́ so ó máa help sí àwọn àmọ̀tẹ́kùn yóò tẹ́kọ̀ tó máa lè kọ́ pé tó èmi bẹ̀ bọ̀ wá pé ẹ̀yin tẹ́ bá lè bá àwọn gómìnà sọ̀rọ̀ kí wọ́n ní kíní wọ̀nyẹn yóò ràn wá lọ́wọ́ dáadáa then àbúrò mi náà àwọn tó fi sọ̀rọ̀ pa tìbílẹ̀ wa pé ìbílẹ̀ ó yẹ kí wọ́n kà sí ní ó kàn pé níìsín àwọn tó sọ pé àjàngbara wa níìsín wọ́n ti yó bírò Gani Adams wọn lè jà mọ́ so àwọn ti dòjò lóṣèlú wọ́n ti owó ńlá jọkọ̀ àwọn gbọ́kọ̀ sọ pé iye bàbá tó wá tiẹ̀ sọ́jú wá padà lẹ́yìn ẹ̀ why do you take statue of their lives so if you know you cannot fight òyìnbó àwọn local boys ọ̀nà ọ̀gbọ̀ ẹja lò wọ́n ẹjọ́ kò sí ẹja lò wọ́n ọ̀rọ̀ mọ́jọ́ dé gan.
Thank you very much, Kábíyèsí. ẹ jẹ́ kí n lọ sí ọ̀dọ̀ dáàdì just tomorrow èèyàn méjì péré lóko lẹ́yìn.
Mo kí gbogbo àwọn bàbá wa gbogbo àgbàlagbà wa. So standing on the existing protocol, orúkọ mi is Gbóyèga Òkègbènrò. I am a journalist and public communications professional. Nǹkan méjì ló kàn interest mi tí mo fẹ́ point attention wá sí bí. Ní àkọ́kọ́, looking at the subject matter tí a torí ẹ̀ wá, for instance, Èkó lèmi ti wá láàárọ̀ mo dẹ̀ máa padà immediately. Kan tó interest mi ni pé we are talking about security of politics and politics of security. So mo expect lára àwọn prominent people ti máa rí ń bí lẹ́nu. Even if they are not physically present, bóyá representatives wọn, àwọn governors wa ní gbogbo states Yorùbá land, àwọn local government chairmen wa, and leaders, people who are entrusted with responsibilities of local and state security. Mo fi kò yẹ kán wà níbí, kò bá jẹ́ kán fẹ́ tàn wá jẹ́ as usual, kán kàn ti ràn yàn kán wá àbí kán rán ẹsẹ̀ kán wá kó dúró fún Èkìtì, Ọ̀yọ́, Ọ̀ṣun state. So mi mọ̀ bóyá ó nídìí tí wọ́n fi wá àbí bóyá ara realities ẹ̀ka face as Yorùbá land ni. Secondly, I'm interested in ọ̀gá wa ẹ̀gbọ́n Tẹ́jú, Uncle Tẹ́jú Àbíyẹmí, Ṣẹ́yẹ, the gentleman from Don. You said a lot of things that resonated with me very seriously. You spoke with a lot of depth and data. But kíní kan wà sàkóyí pé mo fẹ́ put you on the spot o. You spoke towards the direction of advocacy in terms of our people rising up and getting to move and not being docile and just sitting. But with due respect, mo feel pé Don nígbà tí wọ́n dá lẹ́sà iṣẹ́ tí wọ́n kà lẹ̀ pé Don máa ṣe. It's to energize and mobilize our entire citizenry across gbogbo Yorùbá states wa láti mọ nǹkan tí a máa ṣe lórí àwọn agenda tó central to the critical sí survival as Yorùbá people. So mo fẹ́ bẹ̀ yín sà pé ó dàbí pé yín náà ṣì ní iṣẹ́ púpọ̀ láti ṣe ṣà ní direction advocacy, public enlightenment, and keeping the people mobilized and informed in terms of direction fún àwọn nǹkan tó yẹ ká ṣe as a people so that I ní máa lágbè ní. Thank you, sir.
Kábíyèsí tán.
Kábíyèsí sáwọ́ yẹ kẹ́ jókòó. Yóò máa dúró ẹ̀kẹ́ wọn ìdí ni wípé gan láti sọ̀rọ̀ ju bó ṣe wù mí lọ nítorí mi àti Ṣẹ́gun Ọdẹ́gbàmí àti ń fà láàrin wa ń bí tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀. Ìkíní nínú ẹ̀ ni pé mo fẹ́ fi ohùn bàbá wa olówó ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n Sakaria Mátẹ̀mílọ́lá olówó Òwu Kingdom mo fẹ́ fi sọ̀rọ̀. Ìkíní nínú ẹ̀ ni pé iṣẹ́ pọ̀ tó bá pe Yorùbá bí a ń torí pé mo jókòó síbi ìbọ̀dá mi ìjókòó síbẹ̀ ló jẹ́ kó rí ọkàn mi. Ìkíní nínú nǹkan tó kọ́ sọ yẹn ni nǹkan tó mo kọ́ fẹ́ sọ. Ìkejì ni pé inú mi dùn pé àwa tá a wà ń bì wọ́n gba iṣẹ́ tèmi wọ́n gba wọ́n ìpá because ká ní ẹ ṣe gbé sílẹ̀ bábẹ̀ lọ ni ẹnìkan bá ti sọ̀rọ̀ bí ilé yẹn nítorí èdè làkọ́kọ́ ìṣòro Yorùbá ẹ wo gbogbo nǹkan tó wà níbí mo ka gbogbo yàtọ̀ sórúkọ Afẹ́nifẹ́re nìkan Yorùbá bẹ̀ lára wàhálà wà ní ẹ̀wọ̀n gbogbo àwọn general náà tó sọ̀rọ̀ àwọn kan sọ pé kò yẹ kó rí bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣùgbọ́n àwọn náà victim kan náà ni wọ́n ṣe rí nǹkan tó so wá pọ̀ n tó dẹ̀ tu àkàtún pọ̀ gbogbo nǹkan tá a bá ń sọ ń bí ìlérí tá a ṣe ń bí ìlérí èdè Yorùbá ló yẹ kó jẹ́ nítorí pé kò sí èyí tó kàn wá bóyá ẹnìkan gbọ́ ń tá a sọ àbí kò mọ̀ túmọ̀ ẹ̀ kó ìyẹn kìíní ìkejì ni pé ẹ̀kẹta ṣe rí a ní kí obìnrin kó kẹ̀yìn síná kò sẹ́ni tí ò mọ̀ bí tí obìnrin gbà bímọ ayé àtijọ́ ayé ìsìn tí ò pẹ́ jù àwa Adédìbú tá a máa sọ pé ọ̀rọ̀ ààbò kì í ṣe tó ń sọ síta gbòǹgbò ni wọ́n ti sọ níta gbangba pé iye báyìí ló ń wọlé fún láàmù ó ń fòun ní iye báyìí kò òun gbọ́dọ̀ máa gba iye báyìí kí ló tún kù nínú ọ̀rọ̀ ààbò táwa ń bò àbá àgbọ̀ gbogbo yẹn gbà yẹn kò sí nǹkan tá à ń bò mọ́ nínú ọ̀rọ̀ ààbò ẹni tó sọ fún wa wípé ó ti dé Kútọ̀ àfiwé ẹlẹ́lọ́ọ̀ ni ó wà nù bíi pàápàá òun la ṣe tọ́ bá lè sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ ti wá gbà kò ti dé nù bíi nítorí tá a bá lè sọ̀rọ̀ ni kò dé bí so Kútọ̀ nìkan ó wà nù bíi gbọ́dọ̀ lè sọ̀rọ̀ wa ṣẹ́rí ọ̀rọ̀ ààbò wọ́n ti sọ̀rọ̀ nítorí ó kan àwọn ọba wọ́n ti sọ̀rọ̀ ń pa ẹ̀ ọba wọn ò ní agbára wọ́n kàn ní ntí nítorí nǹkan kọ̀ọ̀kan náà tún wà tó jẹ́ wàhálà Yorùbá ó ní pé àgbéṣẹ́ mọ àní fún nírinṣẹ́ tí wàhálà bá ṣẹlẹ̀ kan pa bá ṣe pẹ̀lú àfin náà máa lọ bá lè máa dá àfin gbogbo kìtì pé wọ́n ti wọnú oko mi o wọ́n ti bẹ́yà lórí o kí ló bá máa ṣe kò dóye tó máa pè ẹ̀kú àdá lọ síbẹ̀ àwọn ti gbọ́ ni àwa náà máa ṣe kí ni a máa ń ìjọba ṣe ti rí pé ọ̀rọ̀ kò sí báyìí fẹ́ ṣe kan a máa padà lọ bájọba ìtorí ẹ̀kọ́ lélẹ̀ báwo àwọn gan ṣe fẹ́ jẹ́ ìjọba ṣóyé wa nítorí sí Yorùbá ti dúró tipẹ́tipẹ́ Western House tó di Nigerian House ó ti tó inú mi dẹ̀ dùn pé títí mo fi sọ̀rọ̀ bí ilé yìí kò tí ì sẹ́yìn tó sọ̀rọ̀ pé tó lo ọ̀rọ̀ kan tó ń jẹ́ Yorùbá ìyẹn ni ọmọlúàbí nítorí fàwọn gbogbo tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ yìí nìyẹn ọmọlúàbí ló so wá pọ̀ ó tún wá wọ́n sọ fún wa pé ọ̀gá wa dán wọ́n òwe kan tẹ̀ pa ní pé táwọn ọba yín sọ dáadáa bàbá tó sọ pé ó dọwọ́ ọmọ òun lọ́rùn iṣẹ́ yín ẹ tún sọ pé ó dọwọ́ wa mo rò pé òkè pè mí gbọ́ òkè pè mí rárá àbí kò yẹ iṣẹ́ yín because èmi ti ka gbogbo iṣẹ́ yín rí lára àkọ́nù ẹ̀tẹ́ ti ṣe rè tó jẹ́ Yorùbá ẹni ẹgbàá mi láyè pé màá sọ òyìnbó yìí nítorí pé ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn torí nínú education chata yín any classic Yorùbá books will be read throughout the region up till now you have not achieved it ẹ ti touch èmi tí ẹ wá mo wá ṣe meeting pẹ̀lú yín ní Cocoa House lórí classic books àwọn wo ló ń jẹ́ classic books àwọn òwe Ọdúnjọ Ògbójọ ọbẹ̀ yìí kó orú mọ́lẹ̀ gbogbo àwọn òwe pé wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ máa kà á àwọn dàlẹ́yìn ó dẹ̀ wà ní chata yín is there àpò àti ṣe lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀ advocacy ẹ̀yìn lẹ́nu yẹn and kò ní ìyàwó lẹ́nu wípé ẹ̀ ń sọ pé àwọn gómìnà wa ń ṣe dáadáa ẹni bá gbà yín síṣẹ́ àfi ká pọ́nlé àbí bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́ láyé sọ ẹ̀ẹ́dẹ́ta ni ẹ̀yìn kà àwa mọ̀ ẹ̀yẹn fàwọn yẹn lẹ̀ ẹ̀yẹn ṣe iṣẹ́ títí káwọn ológun wa kọ́ mú ogun wọn kò sí ìgbà tá à ní nídìí ogun àwọn ọmọ gbọ́dọ̀ yí wa ká ẹ ṣeun.
Àkókò ní ọwọ́ yín bẹ́ẹ̀ ní àkókò mọ́ ẹ máa dáríjì mí ẹ̀yin bàbá wa tí náwó sókè látàrọ̀ ẹ dáríjì mí torí ẹ̀yin náà pé àwọn Yorùbá náà ní ká sọ̀rọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ ká sì bá bẹ́ẹ̀ gẹ́gẹ́ bí àṣẹ tí wọ́n fún mi láti ọ̀dọ̀ bàbá wa Ọ̀túnba Ṣẹ́gun Ọ̀dẹ́gbàmí wọ́n ní tó bá ti di kété tí aago 2:00 bá ti lù kí a máa ṣetán àti lọ. Lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí mo fẹ́ dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo apápátá lórúkọ àwọn bàbá táwọn wà ń bí ṣùgbọ́n máa pé bàbá wa Dr. Olúṣẹ́gun Ọ̀dẹ́gbàmí MON and OLY tí wọ́n jẹ́ alákòóso gbogbo ìjókòó eléyìí tí àjókòó lónìí kọ́ máa bọ̀ wá bá wa sọ̀rọ̀ fún àgbótọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ ẹ ṣe lè gbọ́dọ̀.
my father, Babami, the great Nigerian hero, lórúkọ gbogbo ẹgbẹ́ wa AFENEFERE RENEWAL Group Ogun State Chapter, mo fi tọ̀wọ̀tọ̀wọ̀ pé olórí wa pátápátá Honorable Wálé Ọ̀ṣun kan wá bá wa ṣe àwọn ní final words from music tó lọ. No, máa wá.
Ẹ máa lọ torí mo mọ̀ pé àsìkò ti lọ púpọ̀, ṣùgbọ́n èyí tó ṣe kókó jù òun ni pé a ní gómìnà mẹ́fà tó jẹ́ ti Yorùbá. Gómìnà kan tó wà ní Kwara ó ṣèkeje Yorùbá ni, ọmọ Yorùbá ni, ṣùgbọ́n òun ló lọ kọ Mohammed kìíní kan sí State House, Amadu Bello House sí State House Kwara State. Ọyẹ kọ́ ni issue nísìnyí ni wípé gbogbo wa la ní láti sọ eléyìí wípé àwọn gómìnà wa wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ sowọ́pọ̀. Ọ̀rọ̀ security ni o, ọ̀rọ̀ governance ni o, whether education, whether ní ìgbà tí bàbá Awólọ́wọ̀ jẹ́ premiership Western Region ó dé Delta State, gbogbo ibi tí à ń sọ yìí state mẹ́fẹ̀ẹ̀fà yìí Edo Delta one region ni wọ́n dẹ̀ ṣe effectively. So àwọn tó wá jẹ́ state governors nísìnyí àwa fẹ́ sọ fún wọn, a fẹ́ kí wọ́n gbọ́ pé wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní bára wọn sọ̀rọ̀, wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní bára wọn ṣe pọ̀. Politics of development has to do with collaboration, also has to do with size. Wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe é, kò sẹ́ni complain pé wọ́n ṣe é, ẹ jẹ́ kí wọ́n ṣe é ká bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní rí wípé wọ́n sowọ́pọ̀. Mo rò pé nǹkan tí mo fẹ́ sọ kí alága wa kó tó kí wa pé.
My chairman, nǹkan tá a ṣe ń dìbà lọ́sàn-án yìí is setting an agenda for the future. It is a small step, but it is a giant leap. Nítorí pé for the first time, programming is being watched by the lucky few around the world. Anywhere in the world, tó bá wà nílé, you have just witnessed something that is new, something that is different, and something that is refreshing, something that gives hope, something that gives direction. So, ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà nílé ní, you are a part of history. Torí a ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ ni. Subject that discussed Lenny was deliberately chosen. It is probably the most difficult subject to handle in Nigeria today, that of security. Because nígbà tá a ní àkọ́kọ́ fẹ́ ṣe, so many people ní báwo lẹ ṣe fẹ́ maneuver subject yẹn láì jẹ́ pé ẹ sọ òótọ́, because láti sọ òótọ́ wàhálà ni a máa ṣẹra wa. But by the special grace of God, after 3 hours, and the world has heard us and seen us, we the Yorubas have succeeded again to take a very difficult subject and to make it entertaining and educative and informative for our people. Because people are listening to us all over the world, we couldn't have just done it in Yoruba. And it just shows our versatility as a people, as a Yoruba people. So, on behalf of ARG Ogun State, on behalf of my chairman, Honorable Wale Oshun, on behalf of my leader, my father, General Alani Akinade, on behalf of my boss, Sheye Oyeleye of Dawn Commission. They are all my bosses. On behalf of all my members from across Nigeria of ARG, I thank all of you that have come here today. Tí ẹ bá fẹ́ join ARG, because that is a movement of the Yoruba people that has a voice, that has a foundation, that represents one of the interests, socio-political, of Yoruba land. Ní Ogun State o, register wa wà ntàn bẹ́ẹ̀, ẹ kàn forúkọ yín lẹ̀, and we shall contact you, and you can come and join us in this struggle that we shall embark upon. Torí a tún ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ ni. So once again, I thank Kábíyèsí Olówu for honoring us with his invitation today, and all the great gentlemen friends that I see around here, Tokunbo, Prince, Chief Afolabi, and forgive me, my friend just came in here, Dr. Dada. This is a great Nigerian man, one of the foremost Yoruba medical doctors in Nigeria today. He's setting paces. FMC, dábàá lọ sí FMC, Bitemeta, Kẹlọ́wọ́, nǹkan tó wà ń bẹ̀. Nǹkan tẹ̀ máa rí ní America, ní Europe, káàkiri ni this man did it. So we are very proud of you as a Yoruba man. And everyone else here. It's exactly 2:30. I wish everybody a safe journey back home. Thank you very much.
Group photographs, please. Group photographs, yeah, Kalama Babawa, our general. Okay, I'm a say Papa, Dr. Dada, thank you, sir, for coming, sir. John, wow, go to the you. I'm going to mal sing, I feel go Group photographs, sir. Yes, okay, sir. Thank you very much, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so very much. Ilé àtọ̀nà tẹ̀fí sílẹ̀ tẹ̀ wá sí ìbáyé. Kò ní jóná, kò lè ní bàjẹ́. Thank you very much. Ẹ̀gbọ́n mi, Ọ̀rúntàn of Owo Kingdom. Thank you, sir. My politician brother. Thank you. Yeah. Àwọn Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn, thank you. Commander Akiwumi Fasaki, I thank you so much, Egbomi. Group photographs, please. The next one.
Good afternoon, listeners. We have just concluded coverage of a significant social-political dialogue held at the June 12 Cultural Center, where stakeholders gathered to address growing concerns around security in the Southwest. The event, themed Before the Storm Arrives, the politics of security and the security of politics in Yoruba land, commenced at exactly 11:30 a.m. with the introduction of dignitaries in attendance, setting the tone for what would become a deeply engaging and thought-provoking session. This was followed by the rendition of the AFENEFERE Renewal Group Anthem, reinforcing the cultural and ideological foundation of the gathering. Delivering the welcome address, the chairman of the occasion, Mr. Wale Oshun, emphasized the urgency of the moment and the need for collective responsibility in addressing the region's security challenges. An overview of the security situation in the Southwest was presented by Mr. Sheye, a representative of the development agenda of West Africa Nigeria Commission. In his address, he highlighted the current realities of insecurity across the region and stressed that safeguarding communities must not be left to government alone. He called on citizens to become more security conscious, proactive, and actively involved in protecting their environment. The guest speaker, Mr. Alani Akinriade, delivered a brief but impactful address, officially opening the panel session. The discussion that followed was rich and insightful, focusing on the preservation of Yoruba culture, the protection of communities, and the importance